robotic delivery on her gets away with a disperse.
Some damage on the best. Stone Shield prevents almost all of the Fearless. Right.
Shadow keeps juking Real. The Real can't find the head. Shadow's still alive.
He's fighting for his life. He's fighting for the championship. He's fighting for everything he stands.
It's their game to lose.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 57 of the Smite Update.
Wow.
My name is Octave Pro. I'm joined by F. Dot, and this week Adonis. How's it going, gentlemen?
Good, good.
F. Dot, how's it going, bro? Yeah, why? You...
F. Dot, we can't hear. Man, you're so funny. You're original.
Octane, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Good.
Octane, you're so booty.
Thank you.
Unmute me. Why
Thank
didn't
you.
you unmute me?
You're unmuted, bro. You're all good to go.
Well, now I am.
That's right. That's
You're
right.
worst.
That's right. Well, your mic's good this week, so I am a happy camper on my side. You know.
My mic is always good. You need to chill.
Same thing with that
It was
air
pretty
conditioner,
bad
right?
last week.
Yeah, I know.
You were pretty bad last week.
Anyways, folks, those of you guys not familiar, this is the Smite Update. It airs every week on Sundays at 5 p.m. on Smite Game. And F. Dot is a normal host as well as Fats. Fats is unable to join us this week, so we decided to have Adonis join us. And Adonis is actually a member of the Hi-Rez staff. And Adonis, just so people get to know you, what exactly do you do for Hi-Rez right now?
I am the professional stream watcher.
Stream watcher.
Hi-Rez.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's good. That's an important job.
No, I do some video editing, production.
Okay.
I work the replays that you see and the highlight reels you see at the end of every tournament we run. That's me editing them and getting them to people on the fly. And then I do like the MVP videos and a lot of the stuff you see on Smite Pro YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So remember a couple weeks ago when you said that Zindern was from the UK, and when you said that like Shaggy Shank had like 900 assists? That was your mistake.
No,
right?
that was Brad.
Oh,
I
you're
don't
the guy
like the
you're the guy in
graphics.
charge
I
of it
just
when it
take
works
the
out.
graphics and use them.
Okay.
I did see that. He is from. Yeah, it was pretty bad. There was like 4 mistakes in that one. We actually, at first someone's like, "Hey, did you see you made this mistake in the video?" And it's something small, we're like, "Yeah, whatever, we'll leave it." And then like 5 minutes later, like, "Yeah, there's actually 8 different mistakes that you did. We're like, wrong number of kills, wrong number of assists, wrong country."
I knew that.
Wrong roll, something
I
like
knew all
that.
of it. I knew
So we just, I quickly I edited the file and dropped
Well,
a new one.
welcome to Smite Update, where we call
Thank
out
you.
everything you've ever done wrong.
Yep,
Okay,
pretty much.
That's great.
All right,
Pretty
good.
much.
This is good. We have a long show for you guys tonight.
So on that note, so you definitely work in production. And what did you do before working for Hi-Rez Studios? And then tell us how you ended up landing a job with them.
I worked before at a grocery store for a long time, and then actually in about January I said I don't want to do this. Like I was.
Were you
was-
a bagger?
Plastic? Would you like
No,
plastic
I
or
was not a
paper?
bagger.
Plastic or paper?
I was not a bagger. Sorry.
It's all
No,
good.
but I was offered, or I was up for management. And I said I don't want to do this, and if I accept it, I'll probably be stuck here.
Yeah.
So I ended up giving my 2 weeks. I had a lot of money saved up, got a lot of money from stocks, and I was good. Figured I'd try to stream or anything. I was gonna try and stream. I got on
Okay.
Smite Pro, started streaming on there for a little bit, and then I got invited by my friend Hi-Rez Josh, who works production
Mhm.
as well, to come work the launch tournament. And it was just, they liked what I did there, and it was a mix of dedication, hard work, and luck. Mostly the 90% luck, but I mean, it just seemed to work out for me, and I'm happy
40%
that I
skill.
landed a job. No, we're not. It's not Fort Minor. We're not gonna start busting out lyrics.
Awesome. Well, first.
God,
Oh God. So awesome. Well, outside of that, let's kind of touch a little bit. F. Dot, what have you been up to in Smite recently this week?
I've been chilling. I played some Janus and just put
Giannis.
holes in everybody, which is
Oh.
hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious to just, oh man, this guy is so bad, and then you go into mid is easily my worst role, then you just go, and it works out. So that's been a lot of fun. Tidefall is a stupid name. But yeah, we had a lot of fun just playing some basic casuals.
Okay.
I've been staying away from ranked because I got really salty.
Good for you. Good for you, dude. Good for
One
you.
of the changes to ranked, if you started ranked right when it came out, you had to claw your way up, which is cool. and then if you decided to play later, you just got promoted to like instant plat masters. So
Are you
been
a
sitting
little
here-
salty about Fats getting promoted from bronze to plat in one
Oh, is
game?
it? He's high. He's actually higher elo than or MMR than DM Brandon.
Well, I mean,
too.
I played like every day. I stream every day. I was playing ranked and like clawed my ways up from the depth of bronze. It was a lot of fun. I'm like silver 1, and then Fats was like, "Let me log on here," and like played 5 games, and now he's plat. And I'm
Yep.
like,
Yeah, he definitely rubbed that one in last week. He was like, "Oh yeah, I played one game with Lastus and went from bronze to platinum. It was awesome." F dot, I thought you were gonna like rage quit instantly.
Yeah, I went from bronze to plat too, because I didn't get to play. Because the first month that I was out, I didn't really play outside of a couple games because I was moving to Atlanta and working on getting the job. And then I finally got to play, and I'm like diamond now. I only have 40 wins.
Wow.
I got like 42 wins. Like
Well,
20
outside
losses,
of
diamond.
just trolling us completely in ranked, Adonis, what have you been up to this week? You been playing a little Smite here and there? What have you been doing?
Yeah, I was farming to get diamond pretty much.
Okay.
For those who actually don't know, because I forgot to mention this before that I was actually a competitive player in Smite. I play. Yeah, I agree. I have to agree. I'm not gonna
using the
be
term
wrong on that.
competitive loose here.
I would say, hey, I went to not obviously the launch tournament, but the land before that. I was in the land before that. I was at PAX Prime. I played for Reason Gaming.
Okay, there's a
I was
big
the worst player out of 20.
I think now we can get to a point where there's competitive players and pro players, and I feel
Okay.
like I think competitive.
I
you know,
understand.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
I mean, I think we're starting to get to that point in the scene at least, where like just because you play hardcore in your parents' basement every night doesn't mean you're a competitive,
Hey,
pro player.
Upstairs. Basement. That's
derogatory.
basement nerds. Like, don't put me in with that class.
All right. I've actually been playing a little bit, decent amount actually, a 2 vs 2, and have been having a blast doing it, just doing some customs and stuff like that, having some
Neat.
fun.
Is that a game mode?
Yeah, it is so much fun. It is so much fun. It definitely has its attraction versus 3 vs 3. I'm actually rather enjoying it. Just throwing together some 2 vs 2s and playing with some people. I played a bunch last night as well, enjoyed it. So that's where I've been at right now. A decent amount of 2 vs 2. But let's go ahead and before we jump into community news. Let's talk a little bit for a fact that you guys can check out the show on iTunes if you're interested. The audio version is available, so please go ahead and check that out. Same thing with Android. If you just go ahead and search on your favorite iPod app, just look for something, look for Smite or Smite Update. You'll find either of them available on iTunes and also on Android. So check it out. So jumping to community news, we actually had the RA-MERICA supports American Red Cross. And from what...
That was dope.
Okay, so from what that looked like, it looked like it would have been a lot of fun to be in that office that day.
I was not.
I
It
know
was actually
you.
my
wanted
one
to.
day off.
Okay.
But it was amazing, obviously, overall. I mean, we raised over 50,000 between the RA-MERICA skin and the stream. Yeah, good job to everyone who did, who donated.
That's pretty dope.
But it was... I was watching it from home for a little bit, and it got crazy. And that's there was a new dry bear on screen multiple times.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah.
And I love Roy too.
So those people not familiar, Hi-Rez Studios put together a partnership, I guess, with Red Cross, and they actually had somebody from Red Cross come out and speak a little bit on camera, and they started a charity drive, and not only did a portion of the proceeds from the RA-MERICA skin that was sold in game, but also from the donations that were on stream with Drybear from 1 p.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern. So from the stream, I guess straight up donations alone, like right now it's sitting at 22,980, and it runs, my understanding, until the end of the weekend. On top of that, you also had in-game, which any of you guys see where that number's at more recently? I guess
it
somewhere...
was 25,000 this morning, I think.
Okay.
Maybe 26.
So it was pretty sweet. I think a lot of people are looking forward to this upcoming week with some of the, should we say, I guess, the prizes unlocked, which some of the milestones for sure. I guess, what does it look like here?
Did we reach
No.
the boys in the calendar? Which I'm sure would include Adonis as like December or something.
December.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
About that one.
So
Nah,
it looks,
you'd definitely be
I
December.
think Drybear can handle most of it. He's got enough swag for like 8 of the months. Like Drybear, then we'll throw in APC, maybe Bart for a couple months.
APC might like it too much.
APC would love it.
he's got the chicken legs for that. It's all good. So, go ahead. What do you got after that? You got a comment?
It was a lot of fun. The charity stream, like we just mentioned, we raised over 25 grand. Holistically, we raised over $50,000. And all the money that went on the stream went directly to the Red Cross. Hi-Rez didn't take any of it. Hi-Rez didn't even see it. It just went right over there to the Red Cross. Great to celebrate America and stuff like that. And more on the fun side of things, although charity's a lot of fun, more on the fun side of things, not just dry bear and makeup and a dress, but we also had, if you guys are unfamiliar with, you've seen the pictures circulating, that is the president of the company, the CEO of the company was there as well. I think Todd showed up.
Oh, man.
They went all out.
It was Todd, Stu, and Erez, and then
basically the three
Dry
big
Bear.
cheeses of Hi-Rez
pretty much.
just dipped in, and I mean, like, it's hilarious and funny, but it's also really cool to like know that the dudes that make your game that are the big serious guys are always down to like help a good cause and just be part of the community, and that's something that Smite's got that we get to hold on to be like, yo, Erez put on a dress, like that's what's up. Show me another CEO that's done that, but.
Yeah, I think.
It's pretty sweet.
Let me check Google real quick.
Yeah, right.
CEO in dresses.
Yeah. I mean, I know Dry Bear did a charity some time ago with Tier Monster. Do you guys recall what numbers he hit with that? I know it wasn't as much though, but I still know. I know it was significant, but I still think either way, I think it's pretty cool because he did that on Smite Game as well at that moment. I think at that time he wasn't an employee, but still pretty cool to see like second charity done through Hi-Rez one way or another, and either way, still doing good. So pretty sweet there. On top of that, second note for community news, somebody actually brought this to my attention via email this past week, emailed the Smite Update show, and I thought I'd just include it because I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. I'm not sure if many people know. If you're interested in adding Smite to Steam, you know how you can add a game or whatnot, there is actually a method to do it. There's a guy that put a YouTube video.
I tried. I would love. Please link that. I tried to do that because I have like a bazillion Steam friends, and I like to be like, majority of the time I'm playing Smite.
Yep.
Yep. Well, like, my Steam account is like Game Dev Tycoon when it's 1 in the morning and I'm bored.
Yeah, somebody had pointed that out because they were like, there's a lot of people that, just like you had said, they want, people are always saying they're never online, they're never playing games. It's just because, they say, oh, I'm in Smite, I'm not on Steam. And so this is a direct way. You can add other games as well. This isn't directly with Smite, but this is just a way to get it to work properly. It's a pretty quick video guide. It's quick and simple and easy, and hopefully someone at Hi-Rez doesn't get mad at me for being like, hey, add Smite to your Steam. But either way, there's the link in chat. It is available, so please go ahead and check that out, and just know that I didn't make it, so don't get mad at me if it doesn't work. So third thing actually of community news, this weekend we had Double Favor Weekend, which was in effect, started on the 27th, which was Friday, and started at 8 a.m. and then will end actually tonight at 11:59 p.m.
11:59? I only have 6 guys. I gotta go.
That's right. That's right. Hey, I took full advantage of it.
Feed in more games.
Friday, I mastered Rama in one day. I took full advantage of that double XP.
Well, the game told you mastered Rama, but
okay, all right.
Define
master.
All right. Is really what we're looking for.
Hey, if Smite tells me I mastered him, I mastered him. Okay. Come on now. That
doesn't
mean I have to be good at him.
That doesn't mean... may need some new wording on that one. You have played this god enough times to maybe not be the absolute worst player.
Thankfully, I can say I'm not one of those fanboys, which is like, I've played Hanbat. Hanbat is the only god I play. I will not play any other god at all. Thankfully, I'm not one of those fanboys.
That's me.
Yeah, with Thanatos?
Thanatos.
No! Oh, my God. I actually haven't played Thanatos in mad long. I still have 3,600.
Last time you said that, I looked at your recent games, and it was like you played him like the day before 8 times. It's been mad. It's been like at least 20 maybe 10 hours since I played Thanatos 80 times in a row.
Well, this time around, I'm looking at my recent matches, and it's like basically all Rom, and then when I can't get Rom, I just insta-lock Vulcan and say Vulcan. So I'm a real pillar of the community.
Yeah, right? Do you know how many questions I got from your email this week that were like, any recommendations on stopping people from auto-locking? And that's why I'm like laughing at it. Like, really? I'm like, you're just going to go ahead and say that?
On God release day, auto-lock is just auto-lock. Especially on the new guide. You just got to give it up. Like, he beats you to the auto-lock everyone's doing, and I do it.
Yep. I did it too. I'm like, okay, right around.
Everyone does it.
See, I give them, I like to think I'm above the auto-lock because I click and I don't lock.
Yeah, me too. I do the same thing. Let's sit. Let's sit.
And I say Hunter, and I just sit there and I'm like, 15 seconds is enough to not be auto.
Yeah, right. Oh, I wait till
I
just
do
let
that
it.
too. I do that too.
I just
Still
let
the
it tick
same-
down.
still the same.
I just let it tick down. I'm like, all right, I'll let it tick down all the way. Good to
But
go.
I've taught the viewers of my stream. If you go,
I'm gonna show you on camera.
when you're on the play screen, if you put your mouse in between Conquest and Assault,
Yep.
and you just ready up your trigger finger,
Yep.
that is the ideal spot to land on the new god. I've
Yep.
been doing this since Athena came out, and I get it 9 times out of 9 because I'm the best.
Yep.
And I just don't lose. So I tell all my people that, that's where you got to click in between Conquest and Assault over towards the end, and you'll always get
It's okay.
It's an important part to playing Smite.
I was that guy where 9 out of 10 times I got it, as you said, and that one time I didn't get it, I shot the guy a message before he auto-locked. I was like, hey, you want a tier monster skin? I'm like, give me that ROM.
Oh my god.
He's like,
page 40.
he's like-
That's shady.
He's like, dude,
That's
sounds
that's
good.
dirty.
He's like, he's all yours. Click, done. Bam. Paying people. That's right.
dirty.
Hey, it was my
That's-
last.
that's
It was my
pretty
last
dirty, man.
game. It was my last game. I had played him all day.
Excuses.
I needed it.
My favorite thing about playing Ram is that
Ra?
So I have this compulsion. Every time I roll, I have to laugh with him. Ha-ha! Every single time.
That ability is so fun.
It
It's
is.
so much fun. And it infuriates the people I'm in Mumble with. Because I'll be like laning with somebody and just be like, ha-ha! 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 And they're like, stop it! I'm like, ha-ha! I can't! I'm just rolling up, ha-ha! And they just get so mad, and I just, ha-ha! I have a great time, so I love it.
You're such a troll. Last thing to talk about during community news today. Game On Magazine released their 3rd edition this week of the magazine. And right now, some of the things they highlight in that is they have the Smite 101 for new players. They have an interview with Zimpstar, who is the sub and team manager for Team Solo Mid. And they actually added a new section this week, which for some people, definitely like Little Mama Sita, Doom Princess, people like that. The Cosplay Corner definitely stands out to me as well. And then finally, they had an interview with Max Davenport, who I guess is the concept artist for Hi-Rez Studios as well. So I'll go ahead and put this in chat. It is getting longer and longer. I think the time it was like 80 pages now. So it's definitely a pretty sweet magazine. I'd check it out. It pretty much has everything. The competitive scene in there. It has the the art gurus in there as well. Some new stuff for new players. It also has cosplay stuff in there, as I said. So pretty sweet magazine. I'd recommend you guys go check that out as well. Yeah, I think that kind of brings us into our community emails. One of F.Dot's new favorite part.
Yo, I love this part. My previous favorite part of the show was the question, the question and answer. And this is similar. I like the interaction. That's what's cool about Twitch. So.
All right.
I'm always down.
Well, you want to take our first question that we got about 40 to 50 questions this week, and I had to go through and only pick 4. So I tried to pick a few different ones, some that kind of would hit a little bit of each little genre here and there. So go ahead, take it away with the first one, F.Dot.
Sure. You guys say a lot that build should be based on your situation. What are some common or important scenarios that you should build against? I understand not to build Heartseeker if you're dying a lot, or Doomorb if you're wolfing on hell. But what are some not so obvious situations?
Shots fired.
And one of the big things, I guess, is if you're a hunter, you don't really do anything different. If you're a hunter, you kind of just stick to your guns. But basically, I mean, it just comes down to defenses and things you need to keep in check. And maybe I'll think of a more elegant header before that. But basically, defenses are big. It's extrapolated more in solo lane because you're ideally just fighting your opponent and the jungler. So if Freya's in the jungle and you're against a mage, then you want to build heavy magic defense, etc. And the most important situational thing I can think of is healing and shutting it the hell down. We have seen professional teams not build healing reduction and lose in the SWC because of it. Okay? It's very simple. If they have an Afro or a Hell,
Ra.
or maybe even a Ra, depending on how well he's playing, if you're playing in the SWC.
Turk and Vamana
a
too.
Ra,
People don't realize to shut down Perk and Vamana too with it.
You know, Vamana,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in love with because it's just when his ult is up and you can play around it. But Hercules, 100%. Just buy a Divine Ruin. Pestilence is good if you like wasting money. Weakening Curse is always good. The key points. Shutdown healing is the most potent thing you can do with situational items. And I think my favorite is to get Midgardian Mail against Kali, because that's funny.
I think Midgardian Mail is good overall. It's just hard to fit it in builds right now with other really strong items that you you really need.
Midgardian Mail is bad, strictly, because of the fact that it's RNG based. But if it's a god like Kali Osiris, and I'm pretty sure that's it, who just
you're only
attacks really
using it
fast
against
and
high attack speed gods
Exactly.
that aren't going to one-shot you to begin with.
It's
You're
basically
using it
Kali Osiris.
against Chen's gods to begin with.
Yep.
I mean, you're not going to build it
against
against a hunter that's going to crit you for 600 even with the Midgardian Mail late game. That's
But I
not
mean,
going to help anyone.
Would you build it against Shock? Not really.
No.
Not as often.
Chuck does a lot more ability-based damage. Like, he has a ton of autos, too, but he's really about that Lightning Axe and Torrent doing it way too much.
So hopefully that answered some of Andrew's question for sure. I mean, as well on top of that, you know, just as F-Dot kind of talked about, you know, it's definitely countering. For example, like as you talked about with Chang'e versus Aphrodite, you know, Divine Ruin's always a good one. But also as a support player, you're also buying a lot of items that will counter. The thing that enrages me the most is when I see a support player who has a cookie cutter build and says, Trix Tank did it, and that's why I do it. And yet you look at the build and you're like, dude, you have magical protection and you're going against a double physical lane. What are you doing? Like those are the types of things as well. You know, you need to build against your lane is very important. You know, and just like in solo lane, just like in dual lane.
You got to build against the game.
Yeah, it's more game than lane. Sometimes it's lane.
Sure.
It really depends. Solo's really the only build against the lane you do.
Yeah.
That's because you sit there for so long comparatively. But I mean, like, supports are like kind of you really want Sob up and running regardless of who you're facing, just because sovereignty is probably one of, if not the strong. It probably is the best defensive item in the game by far. Yeah. It provides way too much, not only for your individual but for the team as well.
Okay, makes sense. Any last comments on counters there from you guys?
Yeah, I mean, the more obvious one we spoke to. I got really passionate about shutting down healing because that can single-handedly sway a game. But don't be afraid to purchase a Witchblade if there's high attack speed gods. Like if you're against a Chronos or any god that really makes its money from attacking real fast.
Yeah.
Go ahead and buy a Witchblade. You know, if you're a supporting type, if you're anybody and they're killing you with mages, don't be afraid to buy a Voidstone. Although that's in the more offensive category. But
I have one thing too, is actives. Like you touched just on like weakening curse for shutting down healing, but I mean actives are really based on the game and who you're facing as well.
That's a good point.
Junglers right now are pretty much hog beads, just because beads are the strongest active in the game because you can not only use them defensively, but you can use them offensively as well. I find myself like in ranked at least, using my beats offensively more than defensively now. Just working on, I worked on, and you get superior if you have really good positioning and are really map aware. You can use your beats more offensively and really surprise enemies. Also, combat blink on mids should be picked up depending on who you're facing.
I like it.
Depending on who you are. So like if you're Isis, you need a combat blink because you have no way to escape. Same with Hebo, gods like that. If they have someone who can just get to your backline and dive you like a Mercury, like a Kali, that can just dive your mages, you really need something like a combat blink to get away. Whereas if they don't have that, maybe you can go Aegis beats.
All right.
I'm sorry, what kind of
I know. Aegis?
Aegis?
What the hell is Aegis?
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Aegis?
I've heard so many pronunciations of it, I don't even know anymore.
Well, I'll tell you one that's definitely incorrect. It's Aegis.
Hey, when I mess up on things, what did I say? Agilitas? Yeah, did I say Agilitas last week? I got called out right away on that, so it's okay.
And I need to tell you because we're friends. So, the entire show last week, we stressed Jeff Hindala, which is something that you say. You make Jeff Hindala have like 3 separate.
Hindala?
You say Hindala?
We should turn it to Hindala.
Hindala? Okay, I like it.
Jeff Hindla?
Well, you know, in the future, call me out on it.
I pray to
call
Jeff
me out
Hindala.
on it. Don't be like that. Call me out on it.
Jeff Hindala.
Well, we had to let the punk run for a while.
Thanks, appreciate it. Keep it PG here. Okay, so moving on
but
to our...
Adonis for sure has Aegis all over his face.
That's right. So moving on from there, our second question comes from Harry. He says, hello, just wondering, how do I get noticed within the Smite community like you three? I've been playing since the first day the game was available to the public back in closed beta, and was just wondering. So I don't know if he's looking like to get more involved with community content, or if he's looking to get more involved with like competitive scene, you know, stuff like that. But regardless, any recommendations from either of you guys?
Streaming.
Just
100%. Streaming is the biggest thing, and like you said, it's really going to depend. I'm assuming he doesn't mean like competitive sense.
Yeah, he doesn't really say
Because
anything.
that's just kind of self-explanatory. Get good at the game, find a team, you know, show yourself in the tournaments, etc. But for a community, you really need to either stream or pick something you're good at and run with it. So making YouTube content, making really long Reddit posts and trolling. Like, that's what I joke. There are professional trolls in Twitch channels that I see everywhere.
Oh, my word.
They have like 80 different like Twitch chats open.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
I
a
have
multi-Twitch
a
for
theory.
trolls. There must be a site
I have a
for it.
theory that every single one of them is actually the best from Zimpstar.
Yes. Oh, yes, right?
Every
Yeah.
single one of them is the
Are you
best.
allowed to bring up that picture from where was it? The launch tournament picture?
Which one?
With the quote. I don't know if I can talk about it. The quote that he said in a Twitch chat.
Oh no! You can go find out. You can go.
You can
find
Google
out.
that.
That's
That
awesome.
one was the best picture I've ever
We
seen.
just got an incoming tweet from Jeff Hindala.
Oh,
saying,
God.
Hindala?
Hindala at your service.
I hate you. I hate you. What is his first name again? Because of an R, I think.
It's Jeff.
No, it's not Jeff. What is his first name? I forget his name.
Oh,
Or
don't.
Jeff.
That's just all right. Whatever. Anyways, on top of that, I think the big thing is, you know, you talked about like, hey, like, streaming is a good thing to do. I think the big thing too with like streaming as well is, right now it's very common where Smite is at, where you could have like 100 streams going, and all it is, you know, all you're doing is playing Smite, and there's nothing else to it. You need to have something unique to it. You could go and watch gameplay anywhere, I feel like, right now. The big thing that makes competitive players stand out is just how good they are. And of course, their name is recognized, so people go and watch them. But if you're just starting out streaming and you might have a very, you know, small handful of people that visit, maybe 3 to 5 people, you know, keep in mind, you know, making your stream unique and different than the next guy next to you on that stream page is, I think, what'll help, you know, help you stand apart and, you know, get a little bit more viewership there. Just like Adonis had said a little bit as well with like YouTube videos and stuff like that, and unfortunately some Reddit trolls do as well. So yeah, it's.
I mean,
what do you got?
I mean, you could find some sort of way to make it unique and something like that. Also, just, you know, being the right type of personality will help out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, if you're good, you're good. But you know, there are other outlets than just Twitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys. So I don't really. So Penguin of Death is hilarious. and
Oh
he's
my
not
god,
easy.
yeah.
Like, I don't even like that kind of stuff. Okay, I don't like. I'm subscribed to like FG3000 and my own Smite update show. Like, I don't do YouTube really.
What about
you know?
Smite Pro?
Uh,
You're subscribed to Smite Pro, right?
Yeah, of
Right,
course.
right. I thought, okay.
I actually probably am, but I don't do YouTube. But like, Penguin of Death has me going to YouTube whenever he comes out with a new one.
He's
so
funny.
like, if you're just good at something and you stick to it and get better at it, you know, you'll just go ahead and do it. But yeah, just being a part of the community is probably the best answer here. You know, watch the streams and like talk in stream chats, not just the big tournaments, but
yeah.
also the big tournaments. You know, peruse the different streams. You know, find yourself scattered around Twitch chats. Post a lot on the Reddit, like we said earlier. Play a lot of Smite and stream yourself, you know, so that's like sort of your home base. Either you like whatever your content is, whether it's like a blog, which I need to point out, that's a huge hole in our community.
Yeah.
We have the official Hi-Rez stuff, which is okay, and we have the Smite Central stuff, which is okay. But as far as like, I'm mad about this guy because he's a wiener. Like, we don't have personal blogs about Smite. We don't have any blogs about Smite.
Yeah.
Besides the fact of the official stuff, which you kind of take with a grain of salt. It's good content, but it's not community content.
Yeah.
And then you have Smite Central, which is basically
TMZ.
TMZ.
It is 100%. You know how many times I've seen like, wow, look at this tweet from Smite Central, and then like I go to the link and it's already deleted because someone proved them wrong. And I'm like, oh.
No, see, well,
Yep.
I mean that's the downside, but
Yeah.
I think of the good side of the TMZ where it's like,
I love it.
Oh, so and so has left their in-game clan. What's up next? And like, they were the ones that like led the story on like a new sponsorship or something like that. That's
Yeah.
the cool side. I wanted to highlight the cool side. I wanted Adonis
Okay.
not poop on them.
No, I think
So-
I love it actually. It's hilarious. I love drama. I love especially competitive scene drama.
Yeah.
Especially, I guess we'll talk about that later, but there was a big one in EU.
No,
I know
talk
Jerry's
about it
using
right
the
now.
chat and okay. So
Rafa.
iRaffer
Yep.
leaves I5 to play for Bloody Tech, but hey, rules on
Roster lock.
And they've been roster locks were talked about like really hard
Yeah.
to the teams, and I don't know why he thought that. I don't know who told iRaffer that he could play, but he was not told by anyone from Hi-Rez, obviously.
Yeah.
So he is teamless because I5, I'm assuming, is not taking him back, even if they wanted to go back. I mean, I wouldn't take him back if I was I5.
Yeah, did they
No,
pull?
it
Yeah,
seemed
they.
like a pretty. It seemed like a pretty bloody technical breakup. with,
Oh wow, wow.
That was really bad. that was awful.
But yeah, it was.
Lovely, lovely. Adonis, you want to take question 3?
Question 3 from Renee.
Yep.
I have a question about Eye of Providence. I mean Providence. I find it pretty good, but question is if it is worth to have it over buying single words. And no, Eye of Providence is right now. It's not necessarily bad. It's
Thank
that
you.
having
I
a
was gonna
second
jump down your
active
throat.
is a lot better.
Mhm.
There's
Yep.
every other active is better than it.
Yeah.
Every single other active is better than it because you're required to have Hog on supports.
Yep.
You're just required pretty much.
Mhm.
I
And
agree.
it's so much better to have any other active like Shell. I'd almost even argue Girdle of support. I haven't actually seen that. I think we'll see that.
It's
Shell is my favorite. Shell is my favorite active.
Shell is one of my favorites. Girdle might be my favorite because it does so much. It's so cheap and it's so overlooked, and it's comp dependent and situation and plan dependent.
Situation.
But it works, and it really works.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm really happy you fixed your. Eye of Providence isn't just.
It's just
bad
that
because
everything
it's
else
not-
is better. Everything
Well-
else is better.
Well, yes and no.
I feel like there was.
Most of the time, everything is better. But
It's also. I'll let you finish.
the value, and I mean, this is something that doesn't work in ranked. You need a full team to really get a value out of Eye of Providence.
Oh, for sure.
The value of having a support with 2 sentry wards on them at all times is incredible. You can effectively, if you know where they're warding, you can shut down all of their wards.
Yep.
And that's very valuable. But it's extremely like you have to buy Eye of Providence having an intricate plan in place to use it already.
Yeah.
Don't just buy it so that you don't have to buy wards.
Yeah.
Buying wards will be better
That's
off
lazy.
in the long run.
Yep.
But when you can say like, okay, they keep warding the intersection between orange and blue, we
Yeah.
can knock it out and then secretly get Fire Giant. Bam! There you go. You've got your money's worth on that one thing. So
Except Fire Giant's on the opposite side of the map.
Oh my
It was
word!
figurative.
Wow, called him out.
figurative.
Yeah, there wasn't
I
there
know.
some time
I'm
back
sorry.
where Hi-Rez was trying to make Eye of Providence more attractive. Some time ago.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a thing where this item isn't being picked up, it's weaker, make it stronger. And then it
Yeah.
was way too much in its first
It
iteration.
was required.
It got toned
Yep.
down,
Yep.
and then it got toned down slightly. In addition to, you're only able to have 3 wards out on the map regardless, and then that kind of hit it hard too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, Eye of Providence is really fun because I love, and I think there's a lot of room for actives that don't impact combat. I think that non-combat things are best explored in the active slot. Consumables is going to just be like brought up by wards,
Yeah.
and abilities is obviously unfun.
I
So actives
disagree.
are really?
Oh.
simply because teleport to wards, Nuwa Girdle is the most annoying thing I've ever played against in my life.
Of course it is.
I'm just.
Such a
Nobody's
troll.
gonna disagree with you that.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna do, but I like the idea of non-combat stuff. The problem was, and I think everybody does, because it's just more creative than like, here's an active that gets you hit less. Here's an active that makes you hit more, etc. The problem was you now had 2 required actives, and that's not fun. It's really unfun to have no choice whatsoever in an otherwise choiceful slot. So that had to stop.
Before the words were like super OP. They were like twice the range of normal sentries.
Yeah, it was silly. You absolutely had to. It was silly. Like, and it's really unfun to be like, man, in this situation, I'm gonna buy the same thing that I would in all situations. That's kind of an unfun core mechanic. So they had to alter and that's why we're at where we're at. Where I'm okay with Hog being needed. I'm okay with Hog being standard as long as there's one more slot.
That's just like there's other actives like that in other MOBAs.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just required to have a certain active based on your role.
Smite, basically. Yeah. Everybody needs Smite, though. Go ahead and download SmiteGame.com for free.
F. Dot, you want to take question number 4?
Question number 4. Let's see. Question from Satan. Question from Sean. Not Satan. I apologize. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, Sean. Everybody say hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean. What's up?
Hello, gentlemen. I'm a new Smite player. Something I don't get is building a character. I still use auto purchase, and it just doesn't seem to work well. Any suggestions? Thanks for your time. Yeah, base. If you are coming from the point of complete beginner, I would point you towards tiermonster.com. Okay. There are builds on the website that are great, and I stress this starting point.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's very important that that's a starting point because your builds fluctuate depending on the situation, with the exception of Hunters. If you're playing Hunter and you're learning Hunter, that's probably the easiest god to turn off auto buy on, and that's fun because it teaches you. You still have the decision-making process of should I buy Beads 3 because I'm getting my booty spanked by CC, or just rush for my power spike. You know, so you still have a decision-making, like how to build your character thought process.
Yeah.
But in general, Hunters are the same damn thing. A patch comes out, somebody figures it out, and then you always buy that no matter what.
Yep.
So if you're just starting to build, play what you want. Hunter is a nice starting point because the builds are very it's
cookie cutter,
static.
Yeah,
it's very static. Once you start going into solo lane is probably the most diverse.
That makes sense.
It's all about. Go ahead.
We were agreeing. We were agreeing.
Nodded.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's all about the current situation, as we talked a little bit before about question number 1. Just always think about what is in the game.
Yeah.
And what's hurting you the most, and then so if you're getting beat by magical damage, just click on magical defense, and you might buy a quote-unquote bad item like shield or something, but at least your mindset is correct, and mindset is what you want to teach yourself, because you can always be like, oh, the math on that is wrong, I guess I should buy Stone of Gaia instead, rather than just have a wrong thought process.
Yeah.
Look up.
Okay, what do you got? Go for it.
Look up, once you get a little bit more advanced, like, take Tier Monster at start, and then from there, branch off into looking at pro players' builds. They're definitely the best. I mean, it will take a little bit of yourself to analyze why they're buying certain items. You're going to have to look at the enemy team comps as well before going into, like, why did he build Magi's Blessing on Agni? Oh, look, they have 3 abilities or 4 abilities that if he gets hit by, he's going to die without Magi. So it's, I mean, it's stuff like that. Like you said, it really ties into that first question where a lot of builds are situational. You kind of have your base standard items, and then you branch off from maybe 3 or 4 that you always have, and then build it depending. So I'd say, mages and mid, build one of the 2 stackings, Thoth or Warlock Sash, get boots, have Rod of Tahuti, Obsidian Shard, and then whatever from there, depending. Stuff like that. So go look up like the standard couple items you need, and then determine based off in game.
Yeah, I think it's very common, like, as a new player, your comfort level with just playing the game and learning the game, and that's why Hi-Rez has that kind of auto level for your abilities, and same thing with your items in there. And when you make the step from, okay, I'm going to turn those off, and I'm going to start to do, start to build those items and build that character, as you said, it really is its own little mini game. The item selection that you do make does definitely make or break your god, for sure. I mean, if you could build a god in an incorrect way and then build a god in a fabulous way, you're going going to see the number of differences as you start to pursue them, and especially if you start to have on some of your scrolling text, you can see, you know, your crits and your damages and stuff like that for sure. So, you know, it definitely is that step, and I understand from a new player perspective, like, you know, hey, what do I do now? And a lot of questions go about, and what's the right... Yeah, it really is. It really is. What do I do? There's so much information out there. Tier Monster is a good start, and just as Adonis had said too, then start to look at pro players. Take a like over to esports.smitegame.com. You can look at all the tournaments from today. You can go ahead and click on one of the games and look at the matchup and see, okay, who bought what? And then, as Adonis said, diagnose that a little bit. And furthermore, some of that's just going to be you playing around with it and learning. You know, I mean, just because a pro player uses it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect for you every game. You know, so definitely, you know, keep an eye out on that for sure. Any last comments on building a god?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just want to touch upon how simple it is, but the store makes it seem very overwhelming.
Yeah.
For example, the static hunter build comes from a very core set of ideas, where you have, basically in a hunter build, you need crit, damage, lifesteal, and you always get boots for movement speed and penetration. So you get damage and lifesteal in one armor with Devo gloves, you get boots, and then you get attack speed, and then your 2 crit items in pen. Boom, done. And as a mage, you generally want to get damage, add some boots in there, a pen item, either spear or shard, and a defensive item if you need it. In the jungle, you build damage and then build accordingly. In the soul, you know, so there are definitely structured formulas as to how to build a character. Like, you don't go into the jungle saying, all right, I need a lifesteal item now. Like, there are structured decisions on how to make it work, and you'll notice that pattern as you play. So when you press I and you look at all those items and you get like starry-eyed and woozy, it's definitely a lot of information. But as you look at trends on well-formed players, you can really get you can really start to understand how simplistic it is in the long run.
Yeah, for sure. I can, you know, if you Hi-Rez has done a really good job with the item in the store since, you know, the start. If you remember back, I mean, now it's a lot simpler to go through. So, you know, as you're starting to build and you're like, wow, I'm going against this support, you know, in lane and really having a hard time, you know, penetration, you know, definitely helps you out there for sure. And it makes it really easy to find that. And so they're definitely doing a really, really good job. You know, Hi-Rez has definitely moved in that direction to make it a little bit easier. I don't play League of Legends or Dota. Do either of you guys have a decent amount of experience with that? Like, how does the store line up between like Smite and those other games?
It's a lot more simplistic.
Is it?
Yeah, I've played a couple others, but I mean, Smite's very basic and easy.
Yeah.
You have an item, and then it branches into maybe multiple tiers, and at the last tier, there's I think always a passive. You get something extra besides the stats at the end of every tiered item.
Okay.
Simple enough.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a lot of experience with Dota 2 or League of Legends to really talk on it, but for what I've heard, you know, people like stopping the stream or Twitter posts and stuff like that, they seem to enjoy the item store a little bit better, at least where it's at right now for sure, which is kind of nice. So, all right, well, that kind of rounds out our community emails, guys. If you guys want to email the show, you can see it right up on stream, and if you're listening to the audio version, it's smiteupdate@gmail.com. Feel free to go ahead and email that. We'll go through, review those, and then we'll select a few of them to get on stream. There was a lot of duplicates, a lot of people, you know, kind of asking the same questions and stuff like that, and I had a few people that typed like a page-long email. Unfortunately, it's a little long to go ahead and read that on stream and respond to that, and then some people that just had like one sentence, which was like, hey, I love the stream. Rom's going to be OP. And I was like, great. Not really going to read that on stream, but thanks. Anyways, guys, if you guys are enjoying the show, please make sure you go down below and click the streamer feedback button and give feedback. It's under my name. Go ahead and give feedback on the show. Good, bad, and ugly. Hi-Rez definitely wants to hear it. So please make sure you guys do go ahead and do that. What are you looking at
basically
here?
Good, bad.
Look at Pecky's. Look at Pecky's.
Pecky's
Pecky's is best. That's awesome. That's awesome.
He's gonna kill me.
Was that
He doesn't know for now.
Was that an air mattress? Was that an air mattress he's passed out on?
Yeah, we don't have a place, or I don't have a place yet.
Okay.
I'm just at a friend's house right now, so we're chilling in the same room.
Cool. So let's go ahead and talk about our.
Tell him.
I know. Oh, we definitely are. Tweet at Pecky's. Tell him he looks beautiful when sleeping. I know, right?
Make sure to go in the VODs and screenshot it as well.
Yeah, right. Let me see here. At Pecky's. All right, guys, I'll give you his Twitter name in chat right now. All right. There's his Twitter name. Please go ahead and troll him. There's his Twitter name.
He's gonna wake up to some fun. I
All
see
right.
F dot tweeting at him.
I'm already tweeting at him too. Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about our esports update. More recently, we've actually noticed a website that kind of came to light this week was SmiteEsports.com. That
what was that again?
SmiteEsports.com.
And Smite eSports.
So it's pretty cool website. It pretty much has some virtual currency on it that you can go ahead and sign up on and bet. And there's different ways that you could bet. It's fake money, guys. It's not real money, but it does allow you to go ahead and bet on different things in before the tournaments start. And there's a few different other details. Adonis, do you know a little more about it?
Yeah, I've looked at it. There's leaderboards. I heard there's going to be profiles.
Okay.
I know you can't really track your bets for now.
Yeah.
I heard there's going to be profiles where you can basically go to your name and be like, who I bet on. So I actually bet on it today. It was pretty fun. You bet on 10 things at the start, which is going to be like tournament-wide stuff, like who had the most kills individually, who had the most deaths, and then the team stuff like who had the most which team had the most kills, which team had the highest KDA, which had the highest gold farm. It looks like that one closes right before the tournament starts, and then you can bet on each game too.
Yeah,
it's
kind of
like a salty bet. It's like a
game.
salty bets, basically, for Smite tournaments. It's awesome.
It's a really cool idea, like to start to implement in the scene for sure. It adds a little bit more fun to it. It definitely fills a little a little spot there that the scene kind of has been needing within the esports scene for sure. So I definitely like it. I think it's a cool idea. I was laughing beforehand saying that it'd be great if it was for real money, but yeah, I understand. A little legality.
That's illegal.
Little legality behind that.
A little bit illegal.
Just a little bit.
Hey.
Maybe the servers were in a different country.
I'm a gambling man. I enjoy it.
Octane moves to Vegas.
Yeah, right. So make sure you guys check that out. I'll put the link in chat for you folks if you guys want to check that out. Sounds pretty nifty. On top of that, we've had a little bit more news right now regarding kind of the amateur leagues within the Smite scene. We've talked about that in previous weeks with Iron Gaming, but Smite Central launched their amateur league this past week. So if you're a player that would like to go ahead and get a little bit more involved with that, there is a cash prize pool as well. And from what I'm reading, they're actually like, if you're on a pro team, they're actually accepting, if I'm not mistaken, they're actually accepting, applicants of any tier of skill level, even pros and stuff like that. I guess it's, let's see, where is it here? I was trying to read. Where was it? There's something about it. It says any player within the past year who has been professionally sponsored and has been on a team who has placed in a high-res tournament. So so it can't consist of 2 or more of those types of players. So interesting setup there. I'll put the link in chat. Looks like Smite Central starting to tap into that amateur scene a little bit more as well. And then on top of that, Iron Gaming's amateur $10,000 LAN event tournament at RTX and also Chattanooga has an $11,000 one. There's definitely some good information going on there with Iron Gaming and Hi-Rez Studios kind of partnering up for the amateur scene. It's kind of cool to see some of these amateur tournaments coming about. I'll put the link in chat as well, directly from Hi-Rez Studios website. If you guys want to read a little bit more about that, I mean, it's kind of cool to see some stuff out there for the non-pros, players that want to earn a few extra bucks or that are competitive players. Any comments from either of you gentlemen on either of these tournaments?
Don't really know too much about it exactly. APC's handling that.
I think that Smite Central has been pretty successful in the stuff that they do. It's no secret that I cast the 3v3 over there on Wednesdays, so, I think that they have a pretty nice setup as far as, like, it's not very amateur.
Yeah.
A lot of times, as a caster, I've worked high-res stuff, I've worked
Yeah.
other big tournament stuff and very small community tournament stuff, and when you see something like Smite Central, you really don't know what side of the spectrum to expect, and it's really professionally done a lot of times. I remember my first cast, I was really surprised that the admin was on point, hit me up on the messenger and was like, hey, these are the teams we're going to be watching. If all else fails, these are the fallback tems. We're going to check this out. We're going to go live in about 5 minutes, and I was like, damn, I'm used to like, what team do you like, bro? Nah, I got in a fight with that guy. You got to stream the other one. We're 17 minutes late. I got to go get a hot dog. I'll be back. Like, it was very well done, and I was like, damn. And now I show up every Wednesday on time, ready to go. Me and Cret just sit down. Admin Cooper just feeds us information, and we're just like ready to go. It's very professional.
Dude, you're like whispering right now. What'd you change about your mic? Move it closer. Is he?
Nothing changed.
Is he quiet to you,
Nothing.
Adonis? Is he quiet to you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like nothing at all changed. Nothing at all changed. My hands have been in the air all the time.
There you
That
go.
level.
There
That
you
levels.
go.
That level's where we need you at. All right. That level's where we need you.
No,
at.
but I agree. Smite
Yeah.
Central, they definitely done a lot of professional stuff. They've been around for a while. I really haven't actually even read through this. I just kind of looked at it. I'm gonna read through it here later. But I know Cooper does a lot of work, and he is very good at what he does.
Yep.
For Smite Central, and I know Cret helps run some of his stuff, gives him an idea. So
Yeah.
with those two doing whatever they're doing, I know it's gonna run well and be successful.
Yeah. Yeah. So make sure you guys do check that out. Smite Central, and then also the Iron Gaming Amateur League that they do have running. Outside of that, F. Dot, you want to take the next one here? Next part of news.
I'm like, yeah, sure. Let me find it. I'm like,
Wow.
this microphone.
A ghost.
and all this crap.
Ghost Blue get picked up Worth.
Oh, so Team Coast Boogaloo picked up Worth. What did they say?
Oh my god.
Oh
Did they
my
say
word.
Bigelow? Oh, Blue.
What?
I think you said
What?
Team Coast Bigelow. I was like,
Oh, my
what
word.
is that? But okay, so yeah, totally huge news. I actually didn't know this, and you know, I'm usually like up to date on this.
You're welcome.
No, I knew this before you gave me the information. I'm not that much of a idiot, let's be real. But like, I don't know, I haven't spoken to David in a while, so I didn't exactly get the phone call about it.
Yeah.
But during the tournament, I was like, hey, Team Coast is back. Hey, that's my boy Shaggy Shake. Also,
Yeah.
shout to Shaggy Shake building transcendence on Uller, something I've been preaching for a long time because he's a first mage, but that's besides the point.
Mage.
Yes, he's a first mage. But yeah, shouts out to them. A deserving team for a sponsorship. Worth Gaming,
Yes.
Shaggy Shang, Variety, Corino, Ninja Bobat, Princess Tomato, and Emilzy. Cool dudes, cool people,
Yeah.
awesome job. You know, couldn't have happened to a better group of guys. There's other teams out there that are also deserving of sponsorships, but Worth Gaming definitely one of them. And I'm glad to see Team Coast back in the mix. It's always a joyous occasion when Smite gets a new sponsor thrown in here.
Yep.
And it's always mad sad for the sport itself, not just the players, when a sponsorship leaves.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
kind of like SK when they left the scene for a little while because of that whole debacle there, and then Team Coast the same thing after the launch tournament. Did they play in any of the tournaments after the launch tournament, or no? They just completely dropped off. They did.
They played in the first. They just did not
they tried.
find any success. HiRez actually played for SK.
Okay.
When they won last week. He was under a different name, but
Okay.
it was HiRez.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Teams usually have a superstar on their squad.
Yeah.
And
Everyone does.
Coast's superstar was Funball. And Funball left,
Yeah.
and some teams can flourish and remain relevant.
Yeah.
Shouts to SK Gaming, but you saw how long it took after NQ left for them to really like be SK Gaming again.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to Coast, and they just never returned to greatness, unfortunately. So the sponsorship was stripped, and that's, like I said, that's always a sad situation.
They were
Yeah.
weaker though. Coast was
Oh, yeah.
significantly weaker than SK,
Oh, of
and
course,
SK
of course,
couldn't
of
even make
course.
it till Final Four.
Of course.
So I mean, it's when you have those. I mean, they kind of, like you said, they had expectations to be Team Coast Blue, top 4 seed, and
Yeah.
with EU being crazy, and they couldn't even they couldn't even break in to the craziness. I mean, there's all these teams up there, and they're not even in there. And I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel
that's just it worse.
yeah. I mean, I'm always the shots fired guy here on Smite Update. Adonis.
I fire
Adonis is
shots
kind of
all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say Adonis is kind of a dick like me too.
I don't.
Honestly, we're just realists at the end of the day. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that, the first Smite team that Team Coast picked up might have been a little hasty. I think that
Okay.
Worth Gaming will be a much better investment for Team Coast, and I'm excited to see them perform in the future.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point right there as well. I'm also kind of happy to see, they kind of bring in a sub/coach. I think it's a great idea. Oh, what? You don't like it? You don't like it?
Emily, I'm like F. Dot said, I'm a realist.
Okay.
I
Hey,
know what you want.
say
you-
it. Say it. Say it. Say it.
I think Imalazi should be the main support. I think he should be the starting support. I said it on Twitter the other day. I think give that kid. He's only like 13. Give that kid like
Wow, really?
4 or 5 months. He's gonna be one of. He'll be up there with Trix Tank, Shadow Q, and
That'd be awesome.
Jeff Hindala as well.
Octane is like
I-
plotting our deaths right now.
I mean, obviously,
No
the
comment.
pickup overall was great, but I will call people on drama. I have my opinions. I stand by them.
Mhm.
I believe Anister's the best player in the world. Many people agree. Many people disagree. But I believe Emilawichin is the better support player than Princess Tomato, and I think they should have went with him. I'm happy to see him still be on there though, as obviously sub coach.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
don't necessarily disagree with that, but we do have a small sample size. Basically, from what I've seen Memalowichin play better than I've seen Princess Tomato play, but it's a small subsect of games, so.
They won and got their second place with him.
Yep, very,
Okay.
very true. And you know, I basically what I'm here to I'm here to give the really boring response in the sense that like I don't disagree with Adonis. I need more. I want to see more Princess Tomato because
it was kind of like they were peaking up with Princess Tomato, and then they hit the win with Emilawichin the next week. So
and
I understand.
And, you know, basically like there's a lot of scrims, and you know we're not on the team.
Yeah, of course.
And they're not from the dudes of Team Coast. I'm so happy I get to call them Team Coast now. From the dudes of Team Coast that I know and that I've spoken to, they're smart people.
Yeah.
So I don't think that, you know, there's got to be some sort of reason.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I said, I want to see a little bit more because I trust the guys on Team Coast and I trust their decision that Princess Tomato is a starter. But I agree with you 100% on this.
It could come down to it.
From what we've seen.
Well, Princess Tomato is also the captain.
Oh. It also could come down to an 8. It could come down to an 8. Like, I don't want to throw age out there, but also availability. Like, when you're 13,
That's incredibly true.
how much time, you know.
I just thought about that. He may not even be able to go to LANs. They may have even determined that he can't go to LANs.
That or his scrim schedule or his, competitive schedule might not be available. Like, think about it. You're 13. You know, I mean, you may not have the availability that somebody in their early 20s does in order to make the time to practice and stuff like that. So that could very well be it. Or it might not be, but I'm just putting it out there.
Funball's team, the old Team Coast, they had to, wasn't it them who had to bring a sub to the launch tournament?
Team Coast? I don't remember.
I think it was the old Coast that had to bring a sub to the launch tournament.
But I don't remember what that was about.
It was somebody who was too young.
There was drama.
Oh, their parents. That's right. Like the parents wouldn't sign the contract.
Parents just didn't know because she was like 16.
They didn't want them to go
like
and stuff like that.
It's not so much as like a, we think that you have to be 18. I mean, like, homie, I have been a 14-year-old gamer out there. Like, I get it. I don't think that being older makes you better at the game, but that's a case-by-case thing. It's not that all 14-year-olds aren't allowed to go to LAN. It's just that parents might be like, what the hell, go do your homework, you're 14.
Yeah, exactly.
And others might be more supportive. So it's a case-by-case basis, but it's definitely a very real thing. And also, you don't know if contractually that came from the side of the team or if that came from the side of Team Coast. Thinking about that contingency. So there's a lot of things that go into that situation, and at the core of it at this moment, I think we'd all agree that Milsey Emilawichin has been very impressive in juxtaposition to Princess Tomato, but there's a lot of other things that go into a team than just the play on the field.
Good point.
Fair point. I didn't think about that.
Moving on from there, I went ahead and Hi-Rez has been putting out some of these for a while now. I'll put it in chat. Top junglers for week 7. They went ahead and released along with kind of the top kill to death overall as well. I'll put the link in chat there, and I know F. You're I love you're a numbers person for sure. I know you like these type of stats, so
No, I absolutely love this sort of stuff. The layout's okay. Whoever wrote this.
Oh. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know.
Okay.
I just kind of put it out there.
On a serious note, I think that it's cool that this sort of stuff is coming out from Hi-Rez. basically because no one else is doing it. I think in a perfect world, I would like to just see like unadulterated stats come out from Hi-Rez and the various media publications do their own thing, but
Okay.
there are no various media publications to do their own thing. So I'm totally down for blog posts from Hi-Rez. I mean, I like numbers. If all I got were these graphs from Hi-Rez, I think like that would be super awesome. But like I said, we need some sort of content into this in our scene. We need some sort of even though it's not long-form journalism, which would be absolutely beautiful, go home and write some blog posts about your favorite jungler, please. It's nice to have some sort of like wordage next to the graphs and numbers. And if the community's not going to do it themselves, it's always nice to inject some stuff into the community, and numbers are always fun.
Adonis, anything you want to go over with this?
Man, these are so good. Like, look how good they are. Man, person must spend at least 5 minutes on these.
So, for those of you who don't know.
What? You want to call me out? Yeah, I do them.
This is
and they have evolved,
doing
too.
this.
They have evolved, huh?
I don't know if you saw, like, the week 3 that was
I don't
first
actually
posted.
read this stuff.
Oh, my God. I hate you.
No, I actually do, so keep going. What?
No,
week
but I
3?
mean, I think the stats are useful. I actually think stats eventually are going to be the next evolution of the competitive players. Once like these teams are, all the teams may be on salary. I mean, that's the future everyone's looking for.
Yeah.
Like once the teams are all on salary from organizations or whatever. I mean, stats are going to be the next thing. Once we have the teams that, I mean, look at EU right now, Europe. I mean, they're so competitive. Everyone is so close. That's going to be eventually multiple teams in both regions, and then teams are going to be using these stats to better determine. Well, actually, Anatoly dies against Hebo in the first 3 minutes of every game he's played against the Hebo. So we're going to pick Hebo against Anatoly, and then we're going to get fed off it. It's stuff like that. I mean, these aren't that advanced. They're just basics. There's just kind of fun things that I know not only the players, but the watchers of the stream enjoy. I mean, I do. I just like think I know.
Viewers?
I have the best diction you've ever heard.
This is why I like when you're just shoved in the back.
So, pointing out, you had pointed out something about this, and when I had a chance to interview David Fry of Cognitive Gaming the other week, and he had commented on that, and that's some of the stuff that he's doing is like the whole analytical side of things of like, okay, when our team goes against Dignitas and they select tier, here's what the percentage is that we're gonna lose, and so stuff like that, like, or win or whatever it is, like, and so that type of stuff, just as you had talked about, like the future of the esport, like that's what I'm looking forward to, because there's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that analysts and team managers and stuff like that, they're gonna start playing into a role a little bit more, and that's pretty exciting to me. I mean, I would love to, like, there are some other esports out there where like you go to like an event, which would be kind of cool. I'll throw it out there for the World Championship. You go to an event and you guys are handing out player cards. You got a picture of the player on the front and their full stats on the back. I'd be kind of cool about that. That'd be kind of fun, kind of rep your player a little bit. They kind of did that.
I mean, you want to sell me a team journal? I'm down, but like, I don't know if I sit down in my seat and I just like get all these cards sold on them. Tell team journals like every other sport in the world.
Okay, perfect, exactly. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be really cool, especially the World Championship. Something like that would be kind of neat to have as well. A little write up on each player, that'd be kind of cool. So moving on from there, last thing before we jump into our results from the North American and EU tournament this week. Something that was kind of floating around on Reddit a little bit that was posted, and kind of wanted to get your thoughts on it, especially, I know F.Dot's always fired up about stuff like this. So there was a post made from Dignitas Karma that said, you may have already seen this on Twitch and Twitter, but Lassus is trying to get a gaming house together, and your support via retweets and favorites would be greatly appreciated. They weren't looking for money. They weren't looking for donations. They were just looking to get support, community feedback, get it out there, and pretty much to get OD's attention, I would think, to be like, hey, all right, let's move forward with it. So team houses in Smite. I kind of talked a little bit about this with David Fry, and as he is the managing owner of Cognitive Gaming, and he had said the only reason why they haven't gone ahead and moved forward with it was just because of the fact that their gaming house is on the West Coast, and right now these servers are not very good on the West Coast, per David Fry, so that's why they haven't moved in that direction. to be honest with you. What are your guys' thoughts on team houses? Good, bad, ugly? You like it? You don't like it? You think we're there? Or you don't think we're there yet? What do you think?
I think we're on the verge.
Mhm.
I think we're on the verge. I mean, it's going to take one team to get it first. I mean, I don't know if we're 100% there yet, that it's viable. And I think the first house we'll see is more of a, we understand the future of Smite. Not Smite is there. The first couple are going to be, like you said, Dig, Cog, like huge names in esports in general that have the backing and understand where Smite's going to go, because all of us here, everyone watching this show now knows where Smite's going to go. We all expect it to. It's not just a, maybe this has a chance. I mean, Smite is just getting bigger and bigger, and team houses are going to be a thing.
Yeah, I'm with Adonis. I think it's right there on the verge. I think that, team houses are esports' solution to the get everybody in one area.
Yeah.
When you look at traditional sports, the Yankees don't have a house, but that's because they pay them $800 million a second, and they can buy their own damn house in New York. Go up for practice with their $8 million car as well.
Yeah.
So, that's the biggest distinction between, why don't the Houston Rockets have a team house? You don't need to do that. Well, you do, because you're not paying these people enough to, buy their own freaking house. Yet. You look at some of the LCS guys, and that's a different story. But with respect to Smite, it's an exciting prospect because we're almost there, and it is something that can help a team. We always talk about the difference between online tournaments and LAN tournaments.
Yeah.
Well, what if you could remove the difference between online tournaments and LAN tournaments? Obviously, there were more distractions and more excitement and more just noise levels when you're at an actual LAN, but when you're sitting next to Annenster and can say, "Don't jump into 5 dudes," it's a lot more better. Shut up, Adonis. It's a lot better than just sort of yelling at somebody through mumble. So it's definitely a good thing, and I think we're on the verge of it. And we're gonna need one person to just bite the bullet and be like, "Look, I'm gonna do it. Our team is gonna go ahead," because Smite will reach it. It's just not gonna reach there tomorrow. Maybe next week, but
I mean, it was interesting to hear David Fry talk about it, because he was like, I see the value in it. I know it's there. We recognize it. We have a house. I guess he said he had a house that was available on the West Coast, which is awesome.
Yep.
That was available for it. And he had kind of just said, just because of the way the ping works and stuff like that, that it wasn't ideal to have a lot of their members who are on the East Coast, move to the West Coast and then be playing on servers like that. So, I think it's awesome for sure. A majority of the Dignitas players are on the East Coast, is my understanding. So that would kind of work out well down south there. So that would be pretty sweet. Especially, people, there was some talk about it being in Atlanta just because of the fact of a lot of the LAN tournaments moving forward are going to be in that area. So makes sense for sure. Save yourself a few bucks on travel if you go ahead and get a house in that area. There was people that talked about, Team Solomid and Cloud9 and stuff like that. For sure. I mean, it comes down to age as well, for some of these players. Some of these players, as we talked about, like a 13er and stuff like that, they're not going to be moving across the country to go live with a bunch of other guys playing video games. That's not going to happen. But when you have guys...
Best is graduating this year.
Oh, okay. There you go. When you have guys that are like ourselves that are in your 20s...
From Twitter school.
In Twitter school. When you have people in their 20s and stuff like that, kind of like Adonis said, with his situation, he's working at a grocery store and wanted something different and was looking to go the Hi-Rez route. Same thing here. Some people might be looking for something different to move into a team house, and if the opportunity is there, I think they would be all over it. So,
Best is the manliest man on Twitter. He is. Best goes hard on Twitter.
Best goes hard. And,
I gotta.
One of my favorite.
My
Okay,
word! It doesn't matter if they're married. Doesn't matter if. Doesn't matter anything. Best goes hard.
He will spam the emotes.
Oh my word!
My favorite thing
All
was,
the
so if you guys haven't been around this week, Zapman had a fun-filled stream one particular night.
Oh!
Zapman had a very fun stream in which he bounced. He cut the stream off. He needed to go eat bread and otherwise relax. And so it was a big, huge Smite community gathering. I was on the phone with Bart when I saw it, and I was like, Bart, you got to go home and turn on Zapman's stream. You gotta watch this. And so he's like, oh my god. So it was like Bart, Kelly, Hindu Man was there. I think everybody was there. And so Zapman's streaming off, and Bart was like, we got to go find somebody and just send like all 1,500 viewers there.
Oh, that was the worst thing ever, too.
So we just found like this random girl.
That's awesome.
Right? And,
That's awesome.
This
Scarlet
random girl.
Witch.
She was honestly wasn't an awful stream. She like talked to people and the quality was all right. You know, she was doing it. But we get there and we like chat spams her. One thing I noticed, because I was one of the first people that jumped over there, the best is in there modding. There's like 4 people in there total.
No.
And he's like, hey Bailey, and like I'm just like, Best,
man.
why are you here? He's like, F-Swag, why are you here? And then 1,000 nerds join. And he's like, what? But the best was there first, modded the whole 9 yards. It was like 4 total viewers.
That is awesome.
Just
It was,
shouts to
it was
my
actually
man.
best in 3 best alternative accounts. He's just like, well, it'd be weird if I was just here talking to her, so I'm just gonna talk to her on 4 different accounts so she doesn't know.
Oh my word.
Shouts to my man Best.
He's awesome.
Wow.
So.
All right.
Okay.
All
I
right.
think we were on esports.
That's
I
right.
don't-
So
That's
let's
what
go
I'm
ahead
talking
and
about best.
let's go ahead and move on.
The
And
best.
F. Dot, you want to go over some of our results for this week?
Yeah, this week was actually a pretty sweet week in esports. I was really hoping to see you know, I usually don't root for people. This week I was totally rooting for, at the very least, SK. Because of the toss-up that we had last week with Snipe and SK winning, 2 of the not supposed to win teams winning out, I thought that was really cool, and I would have liked to see them sort of like stay strong, but they didn't, and they both kind of lost. SK actually made it to the 3rd round, to the 3rd place match and took home the bronze, which is better than they've been doing. So something clicked. You know, Reels is back, basically. And
They're not getting stomped by Team Solo mid in round of 8 for 5 weeks in a row.
yeah, like I don't
Exactly
know
what happened. That's exactly what happened. They didn't have to get stomped by TSM.
Yeah, but they beat TSM last week.
Yeah.
No, I know. That's the thing. They finally beat them.
Yeah, so but you know, so like last week, I don't know what happened, but like Reels like got up and like put his button-down shirt on, and was like, all right, I got a Rizla, let's do this, and like just totally killed it. Reels has always been one of my I'm always excited to watch Reels play, because while he's not the playmaker that Zapman is,
Yeah.
he makes things happen, and it explodes, and I just haven't seen that. And you know, I have to call it how it is, and I've been talking about how he's just resorted to being a role player this season. And these past 2 weeks, not the case.
So, how their games went, how SK's games went. So, for those who don't know, they actually beat the top 3 seeds in Europe at the time. It was TSM, C9 in the finals, and they also beat Worth Gaming on the way. So, 1st, 2nd, 3rd seed. It was Captain Twig being the manliest man to ever man, because Captain Twig is
That's
my
F. Dot's
pick for
boy. That's F. Dot's
best
boy
hit
right there.
EU. I would say off and on with Sayo. I think those are the best 2 mids in Europe. I think you could trade them out
I agree.
and say either way. But Captain Twig's Giannis play is so unbelievably amazing.
He's the
You saw
only one
Mace
that
to it
gets
as well. Yeah,
He's
Mace,
the only one that gets it.
Mace as
Mace
well, I
gets
think. And then Hyrox subbing in, he played as a different name. I can't remember exactly what it was, Playing for Fun or something.
Right.
And he played really good, had a lot of good synergy with Captain Twig. And then Reels is just like, oh yeah, I'm Apollo. I'm going to ult over. Oh, look at this guy. He's got like 10 life left. Let me kill him.
Boom.
Look, another guy. He's got like 10%. Oh, I'm going to kill him. Oh, another guy. 10. Oh my god. 9.0 KDA. Like highest in the SWC last week. Because he's just like, I'm going to ult in after Captain Twig does his stuff, dies. And I'm just like, look at all these kills.
And
I
you
can't
know
hold
what?
all these kills.
Like, totally not making fun of him. That's the hunter's role.
No, it is.
Like,
100%. That's what you're supposed to, especially
like-
with Apollo.
Yeah, like a lot of the times, I get why we have life drain. I get why we have lifesteal in a hunter build, but a lot of the times you're not the ones hunter-zeroing people. The hunter's role is to steal all the kills, That's your job. You show up and you go, bop, 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 they die. That's what you do. Well, everybody's like, oh, my cooldowns are up. You're like, what's a cooldown, bro?
900, 900, 900, dead, dead, dead. Like,
So, yeah, I mean, you know.
oh, you're tanky, Quinn size, hit. Oh, it took me 5 hits instead of 3 to kill you. Like,
and like, I don't know. It's, to me, it's so exciting to see SK do well.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Like we said, Captain Twig is an outstanding player, and it's kind of been like. Do you remember? I'm gonna make
here we
some
go.
people mad out there.
Do it.
Do you remember when Denial existed and it was the Jeff Hindley show and like?
Oh my word.
do you remember when Denial existed and I got kicked for Jeff Finla? Yeah, that happened.
I'd kick you for Jeff Hindley.
I would kick me for Jeff.
Me too. Me too. Without a
lie.
doubt.
I'm not gonna lie. I would
But
kick
like,
you
you
for
know,
Jeff Finla.
and like Pon did well, but had his faults, you know.
Yeah.
And it was the Jeff Hindley show, right? And that's sort of like
Yeah, it's
where
true.
SK was for a while in the beginning of the season. It was like Captain Twig was doing well, and they just couldn't do anything about it. And so when this came out, I'm happy to see like Captain Twig like escape the prison. You know, when you have like a good player on a bad team, you know,
Yeah.
escape that prison. It proves to everybody that they're you know worthy of their sponsorship and the whole 9 yards. And I think it's really dope. I'm so happy they're doing well because I know they've always had it in them. So it's really cool to see them. You know. It's cool to see all these new teams come and go, but it's also cool to see the old guard still be like, hey, I'm still good. Don't forget about me.
Old guard. It's been like 3 months.
It really
Old
has.
guard, guys. Back
It really
when
has.
We had 2-1-2 meta, less than a year ago now. Maybe it's been a year, but like
It's been over a year. It's been
Okay.
over a year.
Bring back 2-1-2. Bring back 2-1-2.
never,
Please.
never.
All right. So, as you said, you know, COD got first. 5 Angry Men
Well,
second.
actually, we didn't talk. We've just been talking about EU.
Oh,
But
damn.
if you wanna hurry us along.
Hey, I got no rush.
We're actually talking about
NA.
last week's EU, not even this week's.
No, we talked about last week's EU last week.
Yeah.
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 But no, EU has been a powder keg lately. So Exposed Secrets made it to the finals, and they got beat really hard by Team Solo Mid. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
happy
did
that
see
they
that.
finally made it to the finals.
I called it too. I mean, I called them to win. But that was more of me like, I'm done with Europe. I'm going to pick a team that's never made it to win.
I was
That's
actually
literally what I
gonna
said. I'm
ask
like,
you what
I'm
went
just
into
going to
that.
pick Exposed Secrets because why not? I don't even know who's going to win. And they make it to the finals. I'm like, oh my god, if I'm right, I just have to just troll when I make predictions because that seems to be the most accurate I'm ever going to get.
I hate you.
Having a team like that, though, go ahead and play second definitely puts a lot of spin on the points, you know, for the moving forward for that week because it definitely puts a stop in those points for another team that was super close. I mean,
Exactly.
we haven't talked about it quite yet, like your point spread and stuff like that. But, you know, if someone else is looking to grab that second seed spot just for the points and all of a sudden you have Exposed Secrets who is not in your top 5 jump in there, it definitely can cause a problem for sure.
I mean, at this point,
Have you seen the seating right now for Europe?
Yeah, 475, 460, and then 272, 200 is
But then,
top 4.
but then 192, 192, I5 and SK,
Yeah.
literally 8 points behind Agilitas. This is a LAN tournament that only 4 teams are going to, and you have 2 secured C9 and TSM.
Yeah, for sure.
One that they really need to protect themselves, and then 4th seed, which you have no idea right now. I mean,
Okay,
Bloody
no.
Tech could win and take it. Exposed Secrets could win and be 4th seed next week.
I feel
there's
like
just
like
anything.
3rd and higher, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th and such like that are a toss up right now. I feel like
Yeah,
you could go anywhere. Like I feel like every team cannot let their guard down. Team Solo Mid, Cloud9, of course, they're locked in. Like you know they're good to go. But yeah, I mean those are the type of competitions I like when it's super close like this. I think it's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So what do we got for NA, F. After you're done coughing up a lung?
You're muted.
I know.
Over on the NA side of things,
There you go.
not anymore.
No, you're
he's
good.
like-
You're good.
Oh, my go-to-meeting is.
I'm not muted anymore. Yeah, it's like, I know what I'm doing, alright? I'm the mute champion, thank you very much. NA, we kind of saw pretty much the same thing we saw in EU. A team that doesn't normally win or make it to the finals made it to the finals, shouts to 5 Angry Men, and then they got beat by somebody that is pretty standard in the finals. Cognitive Gaming beat them 2-0, and both of these games really sort of mirrored each other in the sense that, like, Exposed Secrets did well going up into the finals, and then TSM was kind of just better than them in those 2 games and won pretty much uncontested. Same thing happened in NA. 500 men fought some really good games, beat Cognitive Red and Team Dignitas. That is a hard as hell bracket. And then they got to the finals, and Cognitive just kind of beat them.
I got one thing to say too.
Please
before
do.
we get into that, because this is more of a lower seeded team. My boy Nantan,
Yes.
coming out for Critosaurus, and let me take a shot at Brandon. I'm gonna take a shot at DM Brandon
Go for
because he's so fun to take shots at. Nice. I thought. So we decided to stream Critosaurus versus Smite.
it. Okay.
And Brandon's like, why would you stream that? That's not going to be a good game. Snipe's just going to win, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, it's going to be a great game. I know it's going to be a great game. And I think it was the best game that we streamed all weekend. It was Critosaurus being dominant and then throwing from lack of experience and commitment. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, they didn't all do what they needed to do. They had split decisions, and you could tell based on that. There was certain players on that team. I don't normally like the hard call-out players, so I'm not. But I know one person on that team getting hard caught out, and some of the later fights that really swung it in Snipe's favor. And the games were just so good, and that's Critosaurus coming out. They're like, I feel like they're the SK. They're just waiting for their chance to break into the Final Four, and then they're going to surprise a lot of players. And they're a team to look out for the wild card, 100%.
It sounds
There's absolutely no chance. There's a very, very, very incredibly small chance that they'll make 4 seed unless they somehow do amazing in the next 3 weeks. But they're a team to look out for when the qualifiers start, so they have a chance to go to playoffs.
Somebody in chat had said too, like, no set leadership. It just sounds like a young team, is what it sounds like. I mean, it sounds like a really good team.
Yeah, they're an
just young.
experienced team.
They're just a young team. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Critosaurus, I had Nantan on my other show, Banzeus, which is on.
I actually
Central.
watched it. I remember.
Yeah, Adonis is really there. It's I always, if you ever see me like do one of these, it's because I have my schedule on my whiteboard because I don't remember anything. It's actually 5 o'clock on Tuesdays. We do it. We usually have somebody. We had Nantan this week. It's me and Kret, and Nantan was. One of the most refreshing things about Nantan was like, yeah, you know, we kicked ass against Snipe, but then like I sucked and this happened and we lost and we're going to fix it. And you don't get that a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't mean to call out every other team, but basically what happens is when you get these players on your shows or whatever, and you're like, oh, you know, and you know, last Saturday you played against this particular team. What happened? They're like, can you give me the link? Like, you know, they're just not, you know, they don't absorb it. Critosaurus was able to, you know, Nantan was able to, like, recall a game that he played last Thursday in a non-Hi-Rez tournament because they had watched the bot and they had done their work on it, you know, and, like, that, to me, shows more promise than any juking or good play on the field that can do. So, they have good players. Nantan's a fantastic ADC. Their team is pretty good as far as like raw talent's concerned, but the fact that they like what happened is once they made it to the finals, they were like, yo, we can actually like be a real team, guys. Do you realize this isn't for fun anymore?
I mean, they've been around for a while.
Exactly.
Like they haven't, and it's very hard for teams like that to stay together. You really don't see it, especially after taking such hard losses against kind of the top competitive teams. That's kind of like how Reason Gaming was when I was on it. I mean, we couldn't break it, and there was most of our issues were internal, like fighting, and that's just what happened. I mean, we couldn't break through it because of stuff like that, and it looks like Critosaurus is eliminating those problems, which is what you need to do to succeed and better yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's exactly. I can't even say anything other than that. Just how you gotta just look at what you do, and you know that's basically what happened. Nantan said that a lot of they were just kind of showing up to the tournaments like, you know, they don't really like gems. They're just kind of like we're playing to have some competition, and so they got against you know that sort of stuff, and they were like, hey man, we made it to the finals. Like, dude, we're like a real team, man. Like we're like a real team. We can like watch videos and just be better. Like
a little
better
excited.
and you know that to me was, like I said, you could show me VODs of people doing crazy things in Smite, but until I hear from you that, like, yeah, you know, I watched this video and I saw at, like, 1837 that I made a mistake, which is, like, literally what Nantan said to me, I was like, you are already better than a lot of the people in the tournament.
Yeah.
You know, like, they're like we said, they've been doing it for a while, but they're a younger team in the sense that they haven't been playing for a year and a half together like some of these teams have. So, and a lot of their and, you know, we look at the popular teams right now, and they might not have been on the same team, but they've been playing competitively forever.
Yes, for sure. The top four, for sure.
Isn't like that, you know? And they're one of the first teams that we're seeing come in that aren't part of the old guard, as I called it. Where, like, you know, you look at players like Wolfie and Pon and all these players, and, like, homie, they've been playing since, like, super closed beta. You have to know your sister's dog to get in. Like, you know, Nantan and these players, they've been playing for a long time, but they're a far stretch from guys that, like, shake hands with Hi-Rez guys. So it's really sweet.
I want to shout out my boy Nantan.
Again.
Because I've hyped him up a lot. So he comes out a couple months ago as a ranged warrior. Plays very well. And I was like, this dude is the real deal. I think he is incredible, and it wasn't just for his skill right then. It was how fast he improved to be able to play in the top ranked games. And then I felt like he kind of hit a cap on his skill. I don't know what it was, but he was still himself, but he wasn't improving to the point of a top 4 hunter like I thought he had the potential to be. And lately, he's definitely starting to break kind of that bar that he set for himself. And I think he's finally becoming the hunter he knows he can be.
Who would you put him up against side by side, you know, right now?
What do you mean?
In regards to hunter-wise, like, is there, you know, I mean, F-Dot was kind of saying, you know, hey, you know, he's not like he's sitting there shaking hands and stuff like that with Hi-Rez and, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, his skill level, who would you put him up against?
Right below Allied, maybe. I don't know. I think Allied right now is the weakest hunter in North America. I think Madman Mark beats him. I mean, Allied's an amazing player, and I know his shot calls are amazing. I know at least how it used to be, Allied used to lead that team in shot calls, and I know he's one of the best shot callers when he was a support. I think Allied was one of the best supports, and I think he's one of the weaker hunters in the North American scene. Not that he's like, and I'm talking about competitive level hunters. Let me establish that. In a competitive level top 4 hunter scene, he's obviously, I think he's the weakest on the board right now.
Okay.
I think Nantan is kind of a step below that. Maybe there.
I think Nantan is there. I think he's closer to Allied, and I think that's a statement that, like, you're okay with.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
I wouldn't disagree if you
like
said he's just
we all agree that he's no Zapman just yet.
No.
I think that
Senpai, please.
I think that Nantan, I think he has the capacity in him to be a top tier player like that. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. Zapman literally has a year of experience over Nantan.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but this stuff comes, and I can see Nantan being that type of player. At the moment, you know, he's on that level of Allied. You know, I don't think Allied is at. I think Allied seems to be a worse player than he actually is because of the gods.
I agree with that statement.
Okay.
He winds up picking, whether it's his choice or the team's, he winds up picking odd gods. The team doesn't behoove him to play like every other hunter in the NA scene does. And to be fair, you know, I'm not saying he's a Zapman level hunter. He does make his own mistakes, but situations make it look a lot worse than it actually is on behalf of Allied's hunter.
He also plays at that top level sometimes. He's just not consistently there. It's not like his skill cap isn't up there. I think every hunter in the world can have games where they are just the best player in the game at that time. I think I've seen it. I've seen it from Madman Mark. I've seen it from Snoopy. I've seen it obviously from Zapman way more consistently. It's how consistent can you play at that level where you're hitting every auto attack in a team fight that you're just disgustingly getting triples and quadras all the time.
Yeah, you know, and that's you know, that's part of that is overwhelming team play as well. You know, we discussed before about how as a hunter your job isn't to hunt or to zero the entire team. So what's up, Anav?
I have a point too that I always tell myself when I talk about Allied. and I always forget, is that Incon does not protect Allied like Shadow Q and Jeff Hinla protect their hunters.
That's what I meant with the
Okay.
with respect
Okay,
to
yeah,
the
that's what I
team
realized.
presence.
I was not
Yeah.
even thinking about that, and I am a big proponent on Incon is amazing, but he has a completely different playstyle from the
Yes.
other supports. He is that guy that's going to play the Chuck. I mean, he's played Chuck 15 games. It's his most played god, and what he does is he just runs shutdown Chuck like, oh hey, it's an Agni. We don't really want to deal with this Agni. Incon, go fight him. Go fight him, Incon.
It's
You don't want to deal with
basically
him in this team
watch
fight.
it. Watch
Allied,
it.
just make sure not to get out of position.
Yeah, don't go 0-10 Allied and we'll be all right. All right. No, watching Snipe sometimes is like watching Jeff Hinla stream ranked, where you just carry from the support position.
Oh
I mean,
boy.
Just gotta put that out there. But like I said, Allied is, you know, Allied gets a lot of hate from the casual fan, and I think it's because of, you know, his ability is diminished because of the way his team plays, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's all about the W at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Your hunter doesn't have
They're
to be
still
your star
third seed.
player.
They still won.
Oh yeah, they still
like
did good,
you-
without a doubt. Yep.
Or we.
So I just want to put that out there, like, that Allied isn't trash, and you really have to dissect the game to see where Allied does his things. And I think Nantan is on the same level as Allied, and it seems nicer because his support kind of has a Shadow Q mindset rather than a Incon mindset. So Nantan is kind of like spotlighted because of that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I think Nantan has a great starting point. I think he's definitely, you know, the worst hunter in the top hunters. But the fact that we can include him in the top hunters conversation
Means
is
it's pretty
a
dang
huge
good.
deal.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal, and he can only go up from here. It's not as if he was great and slumped to be garbage.
Yeah.
He just got here. He's climbing the mountain, and I anticipate seeing a lot of Nantan as long as the team stays together and does well. I think Nantan will be a name in the Smite community for a while.
Okay. Cool. For the NA scene, Team Dignitas is at 620 right now. Cognitive Gaming is at 540. Snipe is at 325. Cognitive Red is at 215. And finally, 5 Angry Men, who was in second there this week, 172. So, pretty, you know, I think all three of us could say Team Dignitas and Cognitive Gaming without a doubt,
Locked.
you know. Locked
They're
in,
locked. They're
good to go.
No, it's by math. They're done. Like, they don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah,
yeah.
Their magic number is 0. They're already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bringing magic numbers.
So are they, you know, right? And then we also have Snipe, Cognitive Red, and 5 Angry Men, where I feel like, you know, that 4th place seed, as you talked about, you know, the top 4 of the invites, you know, I still think 4th seed is definitely a toss-up. You know, 5 Angry Men, if they keep up what they did this week, could definitely pull into that fourth seed, you think?
I'll be that guy and say it depends on DJ Pernicus.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm gonna say
I
it's
hate being
opposite
that
of what you're thinking. I'm gonna say, because you're gonna say it's on to DJ to carry. I think it's on DJ not to throw.
All right.
Okay.
It's
All right.
on DJ to be present and play present.
He doesn't do that. He either carries or he throws.
Wow. All right.
That's DJ's playstyle.
Well,
There's
what I
games where
mean,
he's
what I
straight
mean is,
carrying.
what I mean is, DJ Pernicus can also just not show up.
I
Like,
saw
not
this man-
physically
I-
be there.
In
Yeah.
the
He might have an
finals,
interview with IGN or something.
I saw DJ Pernicus chase someone. He was like 33% health. I don't remember who it was. He chased someone from like the fire giant right outside it to their Phoenix by himself. It was a Scylla. He was
Oh,
chasing
boy.
a Scylla.
'Cause
And
he's
of course he
mad.
dies when he gets to the Phoenix because
Yeah.
it's Scylla. And like their Geb was there because, you know, there's more than just the Scylla on your minimap. And I'm just like, DJ, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And there was other times where he did that, and then like he got bailed out a couple of times. But I was like, DJ, you're winning. Stop doing these things. Stop going.
Bloodlust for sure. Bloodlust for sure.
I don't know if it's bloodlust. I think he just sometimes thinks that his team can read his mind because they're all like, we're just gonna chill back. Wait, what is that? Did DJ just die for people? Is he? Yeah, oh, he's dead. Yeah. I mean, he'll
And-
do stuff thinking like people can read his mind. Is what I think. It is.
Yeah, like I said, DJ he's not guaranteed to be here every Saturday.
I agree.
So, like, physically, he doesn't show up to every tournament. So,
Yeah.
but, and as much fun as we're having, like, trashing on DJ right now,
I'm not
DJ
trying to like
DJ
super
brings
trash
a
on
lot to a team. No, we're totally trashing on him, and for good reason. He dives into 4 people, and that's just the way it is. Hashtag Pern for Pern. But I mean, Pernicus brings a solid something to a team. When he plays jungle, he plays with a different mentality where he's not there to win your lane. He's there to wait until he's level 20 and then kill everybody. And that's a cool strategy. When it works out, it works out.
He also has one of the most diverse god pools outside of Lassus, which I think is definitely needed.
It's one of the biggest deals. And when he brings something new, it's really cool. Yeah, see, Mace in the face. DJ's not here this weekend. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's dependent on whether or not DJ actually shows the F dot up. Like, it's really
The
big deal.
F dot up.
Yeah, you like that marketing? But no. Like, we see a lot of new Poseidon jungle. It's been a big dot to a lot of people that think about the game for a while. Hashtag me. But Pernicus came out and actually did it right. You know, Chalk jungle. Yeah, HiRezAPC did it once upon a time, but I credit that to DJ Pernicus. You know, he brings a lot of new stuff, and whether it works or not, it puts the other dudes on their heels, and it screws them up for 15 minutes, and you can win a game in 15 minutes. So, I don't know.
I give him the chalk afro.
Chalk.
Yeah. Chalk afro combo.
Which we actually saw. I mean, that's how Snipe won.
I mean, it won them. It won them an
Last
entire week, right? Like,
Yeah.
Chalk
They won game 3 off chalk afro, and then Kronos as well. They're just that late, and Artemis. They won off picks, and they made it to 30 minutes with their picks, and they won because of it.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, DJ brings a lot of pluses to a team, and I think a lot of, you know, I've been preaching this for a long time, and I hate talking good against. I hate talking good about my buddy Cody, DJ, because I don't know if you've ever looked at a map, but DJ's head is probably the size of the map. So I hate boosting this man's already inflated ego. But he brings a lot of intangibles to a team.
Okay.
He brings a lot of he brings a lot of strategy, solid shot calling, and leadership. Even when he's not the dedicated shot caller, and while he does go off the handle, and he can definitely rage a little bit,
just a little.
The core leadership is there, and for players that can look past it, for players that can look past the rage, it is a big boom. And I think that looking at the team that 5 Angry Men have, level-headed dudes like Pain and Mace, who like don't get upset when there's rage going on. They're just like, okay. Those are the types of dudes that can play with somebody like DJ.
Pain gets upset.
Pain gets upset, but
He
doesn't
sound upset.
Yeah.
Pain will get upset, and he will be just as angry as DJ Pernicus, and he will be like saying stuff. He's like French Canadian, and it just doesn't sound angry.
But he can,
something to laugh about.
Through it. There are some people that just shut off when they get yelled at, and I don't think that the members of 5 AM are those people. And like I said, I always talk about how, like, you know, being a passionate guy or girl, whether that means being angry or ragey or screaming, that's not necessarily a positive, but sometimes that's just a part of who you are. Michael Jordan is a dick, and that's how that is, but he's Michael Jordan, so his team kind of dealt with it. You know, Kobe Bryant, the same thing, and, you know, football, like, certain people are like
that. You just call DJ the Michael Jordan of Smite?
No!
Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
No!
Yeah.
That's going on Twitter.
No.
Quote from F. Dot.
What I'm saying is
I know.
that some people have that in their wheelhouse, and while it's not a great situation, sometimes as a team, you work through everybody's negatives to come to the group positive.
You have to.
Yeah.
If you want to be a competitive team.
Yeah,
a successful
And
competitive team.
Some people's negative concept is that they overextend too much. Some people's negative concept is that they yell too much. And, you know, if you can work through that, and the player is good enough to get the boon, I think, you know, DJ is one. And like I said, 5 AM is just a good fit because of the rest of the players on the team. So if DJ can come week in, week out, he's got a grueling schedule, so he's not always around. When he's there, I think the team will perform well. And I don't think it's the DJ Pernicus show. I just think that he's a great puzzle piece to stick into that team of 5 players. So if they can get those 5 players together on the field consistently, I think that 5 AM can place and go to a LAN, but that's their 5-man, and I don't think anybody carries that team individually. So
Mace. To the face.
Well, yeah, Mace does really well, but
All
I don't think Mace can.
Best mid North America. Best mid North America. Mace to the face.
I mean, Mace to the
Yeah,
face.
I know
is
it's a
my-
weighted statement. I know it's a weighted
Mace
statement.
to the face is my boy. We're not super tight or anything, but we exchange pleasantries in Atlanta. He's a cool guy. I don't know if I'd call him the best. I'm getting spammed. With these versus Michael Jordan.
I see you in chat tweeted it.
No!
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Nice.
Oh, no, retweeting.
Enjoy.
Got it. Done. Done. Rip.
That's awesome.
Rip F dot.
That's awesome.
You just made his head just grew 3 sizes.
You know what's happening right now?
Like
DJ's out to lunch with 3 women right now, just going like,
Yeah,
I thought things
probably.
I'm the best. Check me out.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm
Dang.
like flexing. Like
He's
that's
gonna show them too. He'll show the girls. He's like, hey, look at all these.
Check it
look at
out.
these
I'm a big deal. I'm a big deal.
And then he's gonna get 100 on his medical test while like placing a world record in Tetris, and he's just gonna be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever,
right.
Jay,
so
go
good.
I
to
need
the
I
gym."
need to get a good pump in. I'll be right back. I need to get a pump in. All right, cool. Well, that pretty much sums up our esports section. Unless you guys had anything else you want to comment on. Yay, nay.
I mean, I could comment all day, but we'd be here till 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk a little bit about RA-M. We had RA-M.
Aha!
We had RA-M release.
I know. Hold on, where am I on here?
What's that?
Yeah, I know this guy. He's been playing a lot of ROM.
Just a little bit.
Aha!
Just a little bit. But yeah, we had RA-M release this past week, and we kind of wanted to get your impressions on him. We talked last show. We had talked a little bit about him. The patch was released, but we actually didn't have a chance to play the guide yet. So I do want to throw it over to you guys. F dot. What do you think of RA-M? Where do you think he plays? Some people are kicking and screaming that his first ability is too good. Some people say, he's okay. What are your thoughts on RA-M? So overall feedback.
I honestly think RA-M is a lot more balanced than a lot of people think. Everybody's sitting there crying about how broken he is. So here's the thing. RA-M doesn't have instant wave clear like all of the top hunters do, which seems small because, you gotta, you gotta basic attack 2 or 3 times to clear the wave instead of just So Beautiful it. That seems small. But when Apollo can come use So Beautiful and shoot you in the dome while you're trying to clear the wave, that's a bigger deal than it seems. You don't need blue buff, so that's a boon. And your ult has unlimited range, but you're Kumba ulting yourself.
Yeah.
Basically, when you go up, you're gonna come down, and you're gonna have a Sobek, Hades, and Naja right there waiting for you. Like, it's going to happen. So you have to do it carefully. So, I mean, do I think he's broken? Absolutely not. Do I think he's balanced? I want to see good players play with him first.
Yeah.
How you feeling, honest?
Yeah, what do you think about RA-M?
So, I actually haven't played him yet in live. I played him in playtest. I've only played ranked. I've only had time to play. And I had to play enough to get diamond. I gotta be diamond in season 1. Come on,
You have to be.
Or
Jeez.
round 1 of season 1.
Isn't that January? Is January the reset or whatever?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think it's I know it's seasons and they're broken up into rounds that are
Okay.
every 2 months, and seasons are like a year long. So I'm gonna go based off of what I've seen played.
Okay,
and
go for
what
it.
My initial impressions of the kit, which this is 100%.
On paper.
Do not, quote this until I've had
Hold on 1 second.
hold that until I've seen.
Gotta bring up Twitter.
Look,
Gotta bring up Twitter.
I
Go
had-
ahead. Please talk.
DJ Perticus is the Michael Jordan of Smite on lock. You can put whatever you want. That statement will forever haunt you.
You said that,
I
actually.
think his late game is I think he's the strongest hunter late game, and the reasoning is his Pierce.
Okay.
I definitely think his laning phase will
Because of his
be
lane clear.
weaker. No, not because of lane clear. Just the interaction with that ability.
Oh, okay.
His laning phase is definitely going to be rough comparatively to hunters.
It's not as
but I-
bad as Shibby and Cupid, though. Worth noting.
It's true. The Pierce, it can go through walls, and that is
It's good.
that's just disgusting looking. If you're full build, you are going, and just think about this: you crit someone through a wall. Hunters normally need that line of sight to set it up, and it is.
Yeah.
You only have 5 arrows, but I mean, you're not just gonna be spamming them. A good player is not gonna be spamming them through the walls. They're gonna look for those opportunities to crit a mage or a carry on the other side of the wall. Just think, and they pierce through people, so you can. The first hit's gonna crit, obviously, and then successive hits after that won't crit. 33% lifesteal and do not hit affect on hit items. But it's so much damage late game, more so than Jablanc, that I think it's too much. And his ult also is probably the best Hunter ult because of how it is. I understand F. saying that, but it's 5 seconds in the air, which you can wait for your team to rotate, or you are able to do a lot of damage to a carry at a very far range while still being in the back of the fight. Normally, to get to a carry, you have to be up close. You need to be in the front lines. This is going to allow a Hunter to do a lot of damage while still remaining in the back lines of fights. I think his late game is strongest in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's just... So, realistically, like practically, when it comes to the shooting through the walls thing, that's not so much a haha, I'm gonna shoot through this wall and get this guy on his tower like you do with Blink Tier and Fearless them off their tower. It's more of a, you went around the corner and I can shoot you through the wall and slow you and then come around and like punch you in the butt. I think what you said more about the pierce is really scary. The fact that a Hunter is going to crit you for 1,000 and then hit your buddies behind you for 500 is scary as hell. That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
So I think his late game is definitely really potent, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's, like I said, I want to see it played competitively by competitive play. I want to see it played in ranked. That's where I want to see it played.
I agree.
Because, you know, when people like you and I, Adonis, watch a character in ranked, we can sort of like make the, you know, will this actually translate to competitive? Will this actually, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing right
I'm looking at that too.
I put up a poll in chat. I'm interested to get chat's feedback. Do they feel Ram is balanced in his current state?
Everybody's going to say no because...
Believe it or not, right now you're almost at 50-50 right now, to be honest with you.
There's like 8 people who voted. There's 9 people who voted.
Yes, 4.
It's like Yuketsu on 8 computers. Like, no, he's broke.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, I mean,
I understand.
Yeah. One of the cool things, and shout outs to KP, who is the designer of this god. One of the coolest things that I think about Ram is the fact that the entire kit is basic attack based.
Which is awesome.
There is no beautiful garbage. There is no, you know, why does a Hunter have a cone attack? Which, you know, I think it's cool. I think it's fine. Everything depends on your ability to hit basics. Like, Zapman's Ram will make the character look broken.
Yeah.
And your Ram, you at home watching this, it's going to be okay.
What about me?
I don't understand.
You're a Hi-Rez employee. You don't count. But no, seriously, I think it's super cool how even the roll has a, you know, well, you got to hit him. You got to hit him.
Yeah.
I am really happy with the fact that this god is the highest skill cap god in the game. One of, if not the.
Yeah, I played a ton of him, as I was saying, this past week, and I personally, I mean, I feel he starts out, you know, he starts out a little slow, at least when I play him, but as F. had said, like, I'm no Zapman. I'm not going to play Ram to the full potential in any way possible. But for me, in every game I played, because in one day I played him and mastered him, just because of the double favor, that's all, and the fact that every game I noticed that like I started out really slow with Ram, but then mid game it just like picked up and took off, and I thought, you know, later on in the game, I'll be honest, I was like, wow, Ram is kind of easy once you get to mid and late game a little bit, but
because the amount of basics that you actually have to hit go down.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I mean,
but, you know, and that's something like, you know, and you know, I'm not the world's greatest player either, but. Nope. I can hit my basics and I can dodge your stuff. Those are my two. Those are like my 2 badge of honors. I can hit my basics, Adonis. I might go 0-7, but I'll only miss 3.
You're no Barracuda. You're no Barracuda, but yeah.
And like, you know, it's really, you know, it's satisfying because realistically, you know, I'm I guess an average player, maybe slightly above average if I want to really push it. And you know, when you feel like you earned the kill when you play Ram. When you play Uller and you get the axe 3-1 and you kill him, you feel like you earned that. You know, when you play ROM and you clear the wave with 3 shots and you slow him down, you and you get the cripple, and then you get him with the rapid fire and you go up and you shoot him down from above. You feel like you earned it. And that is one of the coolest feelings, and that is the essence of Smite. And I'm just so happy that this god came out. Like, again, I gotta shout out my dude, KP.
Yeah.
Gotta
I
shout
know.
out my dude, KP.
KP was so nervous about it. He was like, I hope no one hates the god. Like, he was so excited, though. I'm really happy. And I talked to him, too, a little bit. I'm like, you know this is going to be, like, one of the highest skill cap gods in the game. He's like, yeah, I know. We need it.
Yeah, but that's
I
awesome,
just gotta
though.
say-
I'm like, yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
I mean, awesome. I
gotta say-
love that mindset on it.
I forgot about this until my buddy M Target in chat mentioned it. When ROM came out, I was playing casuals, and I stream at 7 a.m. in the morning on Tier Monster. Zapman streams at 7 a.m. in the morning on Smite Pro, and I got 2 games on Zapman's team where I supported him, and then I got many games against Zapman. And, you know, I just I got to go out there and say that I totally beat Zapman.
Look at you.
Zapman in one-on-one duels. Totally beat Zapman holistically. Basically,
Whose
because
head's
I'm a better
growing?
hunter and Dignitas is going to hire me.
Yeah, it's pretty astounding that, you know, when there's only 10 people in the queue at 7 a.m. that you're finally able to get in those big boy games. I'm sure that was the highlight of your life. Zapman? Is this like one of those trolls where it's like the A with the little symbol on top?
Yeah.
And it's a different name.
Yep.
Look, see, my friends come out of the wood. I was there when F-Dot outboxed that.
Oh,
man.
whatever.
See?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Is it on VOD? You have to have it on VOD.
It is.
Did you put it on YouTube yet?
You
Come on
better
now.
save that.
Did you
better
post it on,
save that.
is it on Reddit? If it's not on Reddit, it's not official.
I gotta
asking
I gotta
teams to
find
pick you up.
somebody on Tier Monster that can highlight that because you know I just let the greatness speak for itself. I don't usually like to bookmark it. I just like to let people come and see.
That's awesome. That's awesome, for sure. All right, well, any last comments regarding ROM at all?
He's awesome. He's a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty balanced, but he'll see numbers adjustments, and if anything core gets changed, I think we'll see a change to how the piercing arrow works. But all in all,
mechanics.
I think it's one of the cooler design gods to come out in a while, and you know, I might be a little biased because KP and I are boys, but I just think that realistically it's a dope god that's not simplistic, and it really fits the core of what a hunter should represent. So
Yeah. No, I agree. It looks like chat overall, I mean, it's 51 to 49% when it comes down to how people voted. So, I mean, that's a great thing. You know, a few days after the gods released, where chat, because you know, I usually have those gods released, like when Scylla's released, and all of a sudden it's like, is Scylla balanced? No, and everyone says it. So, kind of happy. So, that's pretty sweet.
She looks like half a second off the road. That'll fix it.
There was a game where Europe didn't pick her banner.
Oh,
But I mean,
Lord.
then again, Europe.
That's
So
Europe.
I mean, I don't.
You're gonna throw a whole country under the bus there? Jeez.
Yeah, the whole
RA-MERICA.
country of Europe octane, bro.
RA-MERICA was released. It's all
RA-MERICA.
about RA-MERICA right now.
Yeah, all about RA-MERICA.
USA.
All right,
USA.
good deal, good deal.
I actually got into a game of Smite recently
Oh, yeah?
where RA-MERICA was solo lane and he spammed VEW the
I would
entire
too.
game,
Oh,
and I had
God.
no qualms about it. The entire game was just USA, USA. We're like fighting over Fire Giant, and you just hear like him in the back going USA, and I'm like, yeah, USA, and I like got a double kill because of it. So,
Yeah.
like, if it was anybody else spamming VGS, I'd be like, I'm gonna report you to the noobs. But like this dude spamming USA, I'm totally down.
Yeah, for sure. So you think, I don't know, Adonis, you got a little time or you gotta head out?
I'm good for now.
You guys want to do some community questions?
Yeah, let's take some questions.
All right, cool.
Down a little doodle doo.
All right, so guys, I'm going to go ahead and post a link in chat. Feel free to go ahead and follow it. It is ask.fm/thesmiteupdate. Feel free to go ahead and post your live questions. It takes all of 10 seconds, to be honest with you. Does not require you to log in at all. You can just go ahead and go to that site,
Log in.
put in the question, and you will be able to go ahead and we'll take a look. We'll give it a few minutes for the chat to go ahead and catch up for sure there. And let me get that info for...
Yes, I remembered it. The password is Octane Sucks.
Thank you. Thank you.
I actually already logged into that. That's the password I used. I was just like, I'm gonna guess it.
And so the only question I can see on my screen is
Yeah.
why is Adonis so awesome?
Yeah, Adonis must have just
Did
put
you
that in.
post
He
that
did.
yourself?
He did. Look
Yes,
at that
he did.
grid.
Look at his
Look at that
face.
grid.
Look at his face.
Wow.
You
Wow.
you are the
Wow.
color of Princess Tomato right now. Like,
Look
oh
at those
my-
teeth. He just that big smile. Wow.
Such
Wow.
a herb. I love you.
Let's see here.
Oh my god.
You actually match your headphones, so you do have your color coordination.
Oh
going on
wow. Just a
Oh
little
yeah,
red.
it's
Just a
my
little
complexion
red.
matching.
That's right. Let's look
So wait,
here.
what's the? I don't know the login. What is it?
That's all right. I'll give it to you. I'll send it to you.
hook
Like I
you
said,
up, we'll hook you
we call it AIM chat. I'll send it to you on our AIM chat. We got going on.
It does look like AIM.
AIM Instant Messenger.
I felt it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That'd be a cool feature to add to Smite eSports site. Just putting it out there, you know, a little AIM chat.
Game Monster has that.
Oh yeah.
Nobody uses it because why would you want that on a website?
Yeah.
Put that out there.
So
Whoever
we'll
makes
let the
Smite
questions
eSports
catch up
uses it.
here, and let me get that info. I don't remember it, so I have to find it.
It's posted in the doc or something.
Yeah,
actually
I
just,
will.
At the bottom of the doc.
I have it right here. I'll put it in the bottom of the doc. All right. There you go. It's there. It's so complicated. We get into some hardcore passwords here. All right, so let's take a look at some of our questions here. F. Dot, you seen any that stand out to you?
Why is Adonis so awesome? I like it.
DJ, no, oh my god.
Delete. That one's gone. Block. Can we block that person?
USA.
That is the best question. USA. Okay. Who is the best pro Smite girl gamer? I'm pretty sure Moji put that out there.
No, is that even a question, or is that just a
Because
statement?
Ash Bear doesn't play anymore, right?
Oh, really?
She plays.
But I mean, she doesn't. She's not on a team or anything.
She's not
right?
like super trying. I don't think.
She's not on a team.
Was
right?
she
She's
ever
always on a
super?
team.
Was she ever super trying at some point?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with like her gameplay, so that's why I asked. Like
No, Ash played-
I know at the
Ash
launch
played
event
with,
she
like,
played.
Epiphany
The
Gaming
launch
or
event she
whatever.
played it did really good, so that's why I was just wondering.
Well, no. So Ash played competitively with like Epiphany Gaming or
Okay.
something. It was like an all-girls team, which
Oh, okay.
I don't like all-girls teams. I think if you're good enough, you should just play. I think Ash
On
Bear
any
is definitely
team.
good enough to just
Yep.
play. You know, shouts to Moji doing that sort of thing. But yeah, I think Moji's the only girl gamer going on right now. No, seriously.
That you know of. That you know of.
How does F dot sit on his webcam with his big ego now post Zapman game?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually had to zoom out the webcam to fit my big head. Actually, I had to get
Can
a
we just like charge through these real quick?
Yeah, I had to get a new hat. This was my old hat. I had to get a new hat because my head got too big.
Sure,
It-
sure.
I'll just start charging, I guess.
Just-
is there any words about Reason Gaming coming back to the Smite scene? I haven't heard anything.
Not that I heard either, to be honest with you.
I love Blanks too, who's the owner. I haven't heard anything.
Nope.
Will they add custom leveling back? I don't really know.
Custom
you mean,
Custom
I
leveling?
don't-
What do
I
you
don't know what
mean?
by that.
I don't know what that
Who
means.
needs a buff or a nerf? So why don't you, Octane? Why don't you start off?
All right, sure. Nerf.
Buff or nerf?
I personally think Scylla, to be honest with you. I think there could be a nerf that could come to her.
That's the easy one.
Nerf is, let's see, who do I want buffed? I don't know, buffed or just something to do, I don't know, with his kit, maybe Ares. I would like to see just something done with him. I don't know if it necessarily needs to be a buff, but maybe an alteration to his kit. That's my thoughts. What about you guys, nerfs? You agree with Scylla or somebody else?
everybody that understands what Smite is and can form a sentence agrees that Scylla should be nerfed.
Okay.
Kumba needs to be nerfed.
Yeah, he does. That stun is way too freaking long.
Giannis.
Way too freaking long.
So what do you want to change about Giannis?
Yeah. Just too much
'Cause
damage.
it-
Much. The double tap is way too much.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
It's way too much damage.
It was supposed to be rewarding because it was incredibly hard to hit, but now that people are able to hit it rather consistently,
Well,
shouts to
there's
Mason
an
Wade.
ability in your kit that literally sets you up to hit it 100% of the time, and also an ability in your kit that lets you hit them for like a percentage higher damage. I don't know the exact number on it. And I've seen people be, if you are on par, if it's a Giannis with some items still on par with another carry, I've seen someone be 100 to like 20 and 0.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, it is a lot of damage. I mean, well, here's a question. What separates... And like I said, I generally agree that Janus puts out a lot of damage, but what separates the damage that Janus is able to do from the damage that Habla is able to do? Is it just the
Habwa,
fact that Jadis is incredibly mobile, and Habwa's downside is the fact that
he has the utility in his kit, and also it's the range. Habwa has to be in your face.
Yeah, very
And don't
much
get me
so.
wrong, Habwa does way too much damage, I think.
I
Not
like
way
the way
too much.
Habwa works.
He does a lot of damage, but you have to be close to someone to do that damage, and you have to put yourself in a compromising position.
Well, yeah.
Unless you're a good player, it's going to bite you in the back.
Yeah. No, I could agree with that for sure.
Yeah,
I kind of want to jump into this next one. Do you think that Odin needs a new ult? There's no way to get out of it unless you
No.
have a jump or forces to buy a blink. Okay,
So unique.
so I understand that, like, okay, Odin's place. I mean, Odin's, as we know, Odin's been around for a while. His ultimate has been okay, had a few adjustments here or there depending on what it does for protections and stuff like that. I personally think when Odin was first developed and where the game is now, there's way too many disengages, way too many escapes in the game right now, which I think that's where this question comes from for this person, because, like, I just feel like right now with Odin, like, hey, every other god's got an escape. Every other god's got a disengage, and hey, if you don't have one, feel free to buy a combat blink and you'll be good to go. That's just kind of my thoughts on Odin's ult.
I don't...
Well, Odin's ult is one of the coolest things in Smite. The only reason you pick him is because of the Ring of Spears.
Yep. Oh, I agree there.
Try to, like, squeeze him into a comp because of the Ring of Spears. I honestly think Odin is in a fantastic spot. He's underappreciated at the moment because we removed some protections on. We removed some protections from him, from his passive, and they removed some of his damage on a single ability. And everybody was like, oh no, Odin's unplayable now because his friends aren't buffed in his ring. I think that when it comes to, like, you want to secure a fire giant? Put a ring on it! You want to secure a
Oh, God.
Put a ring on it! You want to go kill a phoenix and not let anybody help, like, defend it? Put a ring on it! Like, Odin's great. Odin's great.
I think Adonis agreed with that one. He's out.
Dirgius got to my next point. Like, attack speed with the attack speed steroids insane. I think he's underappreciated, and if you wanted to change anything about it, it shouldn't be the ring because it's the most unique. It's one of the most unique things in Smite.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you just agree, Adonis? Because I think I nailed that.
No. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
just
it's
put
not
a ring.
Odin. It's not Odin without the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what his kit's around.
Next one here. Can you take meditation out of the game, please, as it encourages bad plays from new players? I understand why the meditation.
It's useful.
Oh, I got rid of that one. Delete. It's gone. It's gone. We did not need to hear why F dot is so sexy. I mean, I can understand why meditation is there for sure. I mean, as players are learning the game early on, I think their mana control is not where it should be, and that's something that you learn throughout the game. Not to be spamming your abilities constantly the entire time, and I can understand why it's there. I also understand why some people are like, oh, well, it's frustrating to see players pick it up. But you got to remember, everybody was a new player at one point, and everybody used this ability at one point constantly. At the same time, you'll see a lot of players that will use this ability in other game modes outside of Conquest. You have to remember, folks, there's other game modes. I know F-Dot might not agree either, but there are other game modes outside of Conquest where, like, Assault, for example, a very, very good choice of buying Salvation there. Like, it works. It's perfect. It's great for that game mode. So, I don't know. It definitely has a place for new players and other game modes. That's just my point. What do you guys think about meditation? Oh, man, look at that. Look at that man passed out still. Is that one of the, not the, what shirt is that he's wearing? Is that the Aztec shirt?
The Mayan one.
The Mayan one? Okay.
The green Mayan.
Okay.
Can you hear him snoring in the mic too?
No, I can't hear him.
That's Pecky's for those who don't know.
Maybe that's maybe that's the
If you've ever been killed by a new
that is
it is either him or the spawn of his church. He is the leader of the Church of Nuwa, and you can blame him when you get backdoored
That's
at
awesome.
30 minutes into the game.
Oh
blame
my
Pecky's.
God, Pecky's.
But yeah, I hate Nuwa. But anyway, I was about to say something. Let me look at this. Meditation. Yeah, I mean, when I first started playing Smite, I only played Hebo mid with meditation. That was the only thing I ever did, period, end of story. I actually streamed back then, and there was like 5 people that would come watch me. That's pushing it.
Yeah.
There was a core of like 3 or 4 or 5 European dudes because I would stream it like 3 in the morning because I played MMOs. So I had MMO and stream Star Wars, and then my Star Wars people would leave, and like 5 dudes from Europe would come watch me, and they'd always tell me, "Don't use meditation." I'd say, "No, you see, I like to spam my abilities, and I need meditation." And they're just like, and this is the core of why you should just get better at not using your abilities. You can do this. You can use your abilities in more advantageous situations rather than all the time. And then you have a free active slot to put something either defensive or aggressive into there. So at the core of it, meditation is not a bad choice for people out there that are talking about it. Meditation is not a bad choice. It's just the fact that there are much better actives with respect to conquest.
No, meditation is terrible. Don't take it. If you're not in assault, don't pick meditation.
Yeah, it's not, and the core is because you're gonna have people in chat that are like, no, it's good. It lets me spam my abilities and give me a heal. You're right. It totally lets you spam your abilities and gives you a heal. It's not bad. If you want to spam your abilities, just use them less and buy girdle. If you want to heal, just use beads and get away faster. So there's just a lot of better options than meditation.
I agree.
Sorry, we're boring you, Adonis.
No, I had to do the pregame show this morning at what time I go? 8 a.m. my time. No, it's not that. I mean, it's only like 1 day a week that I have to do it that
They actually have to
but
work?
it's still like
Yeah.
3 a.m. Like, should probably get to sleep. I kind of got to wake up in 3 hours.
There you
Is that why
go.
all your
that's
predictions
what
are ass?
I think so. Boom. Could you act? Oh, excuse me. Did you predict Team Solo Mid to 2-0 Expose Secrets?
Yes.
Oh, okay. My
I
bad.
actually did.
My bad.
I actually did. Sorry. You could have said that any other week for any other tournament. You would have been spot on, but I actually predicted.
You did not.
I did.
I would
Ask
bet any
people on
amount of
Friday
money.
first period. Go watch the VOD.
I will.
Go watch the VOD.
All right. So next question. So as an up-and-coming streamer, I want to do giveaways, but I'm not a big name. Is it possible to purchase God Pack codes to give to my viewers instead of going to the trouble of sending PayPal funds? I think it's a good idea. It'd be cool if Hi-Rez offered it, if people really want to go ahead and do that. Or like a, they have the gift system, right? Where you can gift it to another
you can
account.
Gift gems.
Yeah,
you can
okay.
gift gems.
But you can't
I don't know if you
necessarily...
can- I don't know if you can gift God Pack. I've never.
It would be
I have
nice
no
if
idea.
you could gift a code, like, or just give, like, if I wanted to gift a code to F-Dot and then F-Dot do whatever he wanted with that code, he could use it, or go ahead and give it to another friend or something like that. I think it's a good idea. I think aren't they moving away from that system? Who's the company that currently handles all the transactions and stuff like that?
PlaySpan.
Yeah, did I hear that you guys were moving away from that or something
have
like
no
that? Okay.
I don't know about that.
Okay. I thought I heard something about that. Maybe I'm incorrect, but I thought I heard something about that moving away.
You think I know stuff?
I know.
don't
It's
stuff.
like, yeah.
I just show up and like, hey,
Who
can
is
you
this guy?
replay?
Let's get
I'm
a
like,
real, let's get a
yeah,
real
okay,
Hi-Rez.
sure.
Let's get a real Hi-Rez employee on our show.
Let's
Come
throw
on
on
now.
a suit.
Voxus-
Talk about stats.
We got Voxus in chat saying a friend of his gifted him his God Pack code, so
Oh,
Okay,
that's
maybe it's
that
possible.
guy.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that they think you can. So
Okay. I like it. Somebody said, like Lord Wizkid, it'd be cool to have a word skin or a god skin rotation where you could just purchase it or gift it to someone, just that code for that god. Hey, I want to gift F.Ra. Here's how I can go ahead and do that. That'd be a cool idea. Sure. More microtransaction ways for Hi-Rez to make money. Go for it.
Yeah.
Where are the other trucks going? Don't even
don't-
understand that one.
I was gonna ignore it, but
Like, I want to laugh at that, but I can't. Why is
It's
Octane
not
so
even funny.
awesome?
Thank you.
Because he gets to bed early.
I
Drinks a
blocked
lot
that.
of milk?
I blocked that IP. Is that what the block does?
He
Never.
has his
I don't know.
He gets his vitamins in every day. He does a lot of Sudoku in bed at 6 o'clock.
Do you?
And
Oh, I really, I really hate you.
You
for
didn't say no.
I really hate. No, I don't play Sudoku, and I really hate you because I'm older than you. That really makes it really difficult. And how old? You're like what? 25?
I'm
26?
like 3 years younger than
Oh,
you.
Jesus. Okay, I will
Are you
admit.
asking me?
I will admit. I will be 30 in January. I will be 30.
That's kinda cool.
I'm kind of scared. But whatever.
Sweet.
It's all good.
I'm 20. I'm only 22 though.
You got any big plans for the big 3-0?
No, probably play video games. No,
Drink milk.
drink milk. I hate you. I hate you so bad. You see this fist? Oh.
Octane, you have to go do stuff that I probably shouldn't talk about on stream. Now that I started, and just go out and have fun. Have a fun night.
Whatever.
Maybe F-Dot will take you out.
That's right. Go to New York. New York. All
What do you
right.
think was the best, funniest part of the RA-MERICA charity stream?
You already talked about this, and I think we both agree.
What's the
Was
funniest?
Erez and Todd and Stu coming out, dressing up like
I
they're
think that
just
was
like
the best part.
for sure. They're just like, I am going to. Like, how do they do that?
And
They're
I mean,
just like-
Stu's a guy that like doesn't even like to be on camera.
He doesn't like the
awesome.
attention. Yeah.
Stu is an awesome person. Just listening to him
Yeah.
talk. All the
He
time.
was really cool. He was
He
really cool to meet
really
at the launch tournament, and he was
loves
really
the
down to
game.
earth. Like when I had a chance to talk with him at the launch tournament, he was definitely a guy where I was not going to expect to see him on stream wearing a dress with makeup on at all. Like
Yeah.
it just didn't mash up. But he is definitely a really cool dude. Like from everything that
mean,
I learned.
You know, one of the cool things is that Stu will retweet my like analysis tweets. If you follow me on Twitter, I like pop off during exciting games over the weekend, and I'll give like really nerdy, like, you know, because the ward was over here on the right side of the map, that allowed the jungler to go to the left side, you know, something like that. And like he'll retweet that, not like me going like, yay, Smite love. So like,
Yeah.
you know, homie actually like watches and pays attention to the game. I think it's
No, he
pretty
does.
Yeah.
He just loves Smite.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's really
what
dope. I think it's so
awesome.
like cool how hands-on how hands-on the big cheeses up in Smite are. So I'm gonna say it's the best part. The funniest part of the stream, though, I think the funniest part of the stream was Scott. Hi-Rez Scott. When Hi-Rez Scott and Hi-Rez Chris came on, and they got their makeup and stuff done before everybody else, and you know, I kind of thought Scott was a woman.
Really?
Scott just
Yeah.
really looked like he did not
What
want
did?
to do it at all.
He
Scott's like,
looked so afraid.
I'm not what am I doing right now? Is this on the internet? Is this being recorded? Because I'm gonna be made fun of for the rest. He
That's
did
awesome.
not look like he was enjoying it.
Yeah, but you know, he started to accept it when it was all done. I think
He
because
looked like
of,
he was having fun at the end.
because of how reluctant he was at the beginning, I think I really liked when Hi-Rez Scott was done up, so that was great. How do you guys feel about league matchmaking? We talk about this every week. The potential of having queues by league and pros and cons of static rolling queues. So I'll just put this out there. Can't queue by league because there ain't enough people. And the pros and cons of having static rolling queues. It's cool that I can queue up, see that I have 5 minutes to go make a burrito, but I do get a worse game because of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing, I think, if we switched over to a system that other MOBAs use, is that at the extremes, it's like 30, 40, 50-minute waits.
Yep.
Majority of players, they're going to be enjoying, like you'll see a pro stream another game, and it'll be like, oh, average queue time 50 seconds, and their actual time is like 40 minutes.
Oh,
But, like,
yeah, it's not
most
accurate.
of the players are sitting there at 50 seconds, and that's what's going to happen in Smite too. Is
Yeah.
most of the middle ground is going to be able to match you a lot faster, and the extremes, and until, I mean, it'll be a more number of extremes simply because Smite's not as big as other games, but for now, most people would actually, I think, benefit from the system, but it would really hurt those on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes down to a population issue, as we kind of talked about, F-Dot had talked about, and we had Hi-Rez Chris on a few weeks back, and he had mentioned it for sure. Like, hey, it comes down to population, and as we get a larger population, you're going to get a better matchmaking system for sure. I guess my thought is there, like, what do you do in the interim? Like, do you deal with players sitting around arguing and complaining about it, or is there a solution for the short term? I mean...
Well, I think you kind of just deal with it because players are kind of being childish. Like, I don't know. Do I complain when I get an Anubis that doesn't know what Fire Giant buff does in my ranked game? Yes. Is that an extreme outlier in my games? Of course. When you have somebody that goes 0-6 but generally knows the game and is just plain bad, that's not matchmaking's fault. That's like that guy's hungover, or he had a bad game, or his girlfriend called him. Like,
Or
you know,
Zapman was having lots of fun during his stream.
like, you know, there's a lot of other stuff that comes into it. So I think 9 times out of 10, matchmaking complaints are just somebody mad that they lost a game, and 1 time out of 10 is a legit gripe that somebody didn't belong in that game, and 9 people didn't have fun because of it. So I think that it's overhyped, the gripes and complaints. And, you know, I forget where I saw it, but Hi-Rez Todd was talking in some publication about how Smite's numbers are just going up. We're having more people playing. We've like doubled or something.
Was it the Red Bull one?
Yeah, the Red Bull one. Yep.
Yeah.
Red Bull. That was the first time we ever saw numbers. So, you know, confirmation that the game is like growing rather quickly is pretty dope, and we'll get there soon. Hold your horses and stop complaining about crap that you don't need to complain about. That's kind of my entire
I dropped
gist
it
on
in chat as well. The Red Bull interview.
Oh,
for those
yeah,
who
yeah.
want to read it.
That was yeah. That Red
That was
Bull
a good
interview
read.
got missed by a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it was really sweet. It gave a lot of insight into what's going on, and Red Bull, I feel like, asked the right questions. Like, yo, give me info. and Todd was totally down. So, I think it was pretty sweet. Really cool read, as I said. And, it was the first time we got numbers, so we see that the game is growing, so just hold your horses with respect to that.
We had talked a little bit about numbers with Chris and just, kind of how it's kept quiet so much for a degree, and how it would be nice if at some point Hi-Rez can come out and be like, hey, at this date we had this many accounts and this many average active users, and then like 6 months later show a number 6 months later and show us like a nice graph, because as the community, like as F. says, like he loves numbers and the stats and stuff. I love to see it. I love to see where we've gone in the past 2 years, since that early beta. I think it'd be pretty sweet.
I have one thing to say about this interview.
Sure.
I think this is worth noting. There's a question on there. Who are the best players in the office? And I am not labeled on there, even though I think I was banned from the playtest for beating them too hard. I think.
Wow. Whose ego is bigger than whose on this show? Holy crap.
Oh, my ego's huge. You just don't see
everything
it.
else is tiny.
It's not as obvious as F. But I have a big ego too.
Okay.
What do you think of the attempt?
I'm up against Bart. Like, of course I'm better than Bart.
Oh my word.
Let's be on Bart.
Kelly can spank you, though. Let's be real.
That's right. That's right.
Kelly is like surprisingly good, actually.
Don't give her hell or Al Quang.
I pug with Kelly. I haven't been there every Wednesday. I don't know what she's been doing, but Wednesdays used to be my, Kelly, and APC's pug night. It still goes on. SMITE Community Mumble Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
I don't always make it there like I used to, but I make it a chance to like try to get there every couple of weeks. And
Okay.
I have a lot of fun playing with Kelly. But so what do you think of the attempts to buff bruisers in the solo lane with Ankile, which is the correct way to pronounce it?
Where is that question?
Do you think Hi-Rez approached the problem correctly, or do you think they need to rebalance, or do they need to rethink how they balance bruisers? I'm gonna give this one to Adonis.
Where did you pull that question off of?
It's directly above.
Right.
How do you feel about matchmaking?
Really? Did I just miss that?
So I don't think they went away to begin with, honestly. I think they're just underplayed, which
I
is
agree.
we see
Well,
happens all
Guan
the
Yu
time.
disappeared. Let's be real.
Guan Yu kind of disappeared. That's also because of the rise of because Guardians are so good right now. Chalk has stayed good. Vamana has stayed. Like, people don't realize it kind of just eliminated Tier more than anything. Is really the one who got hit the hardest. Who else really got hit besides Odin, of course? But he was support.
I feel like Guan got hit the hardest. I don't think Tier really like.
Guan, Odin, Tier are the three that really got hit.
Yeah, I think Tier did
Vamana
too.
and Chalk are still good, and that item just helps them, especially when playing against Hebo, who can be a big problem for them if they're not careful with their positioning. It's a pretty strong item.
Ankile is a very strong item.
It gives a lot, and I think we're gonna just need to see it used more. And I think the biggest thing towards it is the fact that we were seeing mages make a resurgence back in solo, and so warriors didn't necessarily die out, but they were having a rough time, and this item just makes them just really strong in that lane now.
Another one there. Sun Wukong, somebody said in chat. I can agree with that one.
Wukong is still a good support. You're just not picking him.
I think the thing with Wukong is that the other support, he's still good. I don't think he really got changed too much. It's that he doesn't have the damage he used to
Correct.
poke you out of lane, and now he doesn't have as much CC as the other supports. It's the fact that the other supports got better more than that he got worse.
I think Sun
That's a good
Wukong
point.
is perfectly fine. I think everybody that's not in Continentia that thinks about playing top support should just play Wukong support instead, and you'll do better.
Hindle plays it. Hindle plays shock support.
Shut up. He's Jeff Hindle. You're completely ruining my point.
You're right.
Shut up. My point is that Sun Wukong still pokes you. He still hurts. He just doesn't do it unfairly.
Yeah.
And then you have options for CC. So if you're thinking about playing Chalk support, and like you aren't physically Chalk, just do Wukong instead. What team could pick up Wolfie? Interesting question. I like this question.
Now, how does that work with the rules of roster locks right now? I mean, I
He
guess somebody.
got off of Smite before he was locked.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, he can join. He can legitimately join any team in the league right now. He could join Dignitas. So like we're done with it. I mean, that's obviously not gonna happen. But like, he could join Dignitas, even as just for a sub for a week.
Yeah,
if they needed him.
I'm surprised we haven't seen him been pulled in as more of a sub at this point. I mean we had talked with him last week, and he's just kind of doing his thing right now. He said it's either he's gonna have to make his own team, or he's gonna have to go ahead and jump onto another team, kind of like what you talked about.
I think Wolfie's pride is too much to try and grind a new team.
Oh, okay.
He says that, and I also don't think Wolfie's a very good leader. And he's a very good player. But
I don't think that's like anything you have to apologize for.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on RG with him, and we didn't really have a true leader. Wolfie was kind of a pseudo leader, and he's not a very good leader.
Sure.
Especially his attitude towards leading.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out. I think he can be a role player in a team, and that's about it. And I don't see him forming a team and being successful with it. I think he really needs to look to join one. And
who do you guys think? What are 2 teams you think he might end up with?
No one right now.
No one. You think it's gonna be
top 4 solidified?
Yeah, that's true.
Rushed is solidified on 5 a.m. Fusion OP Fusion OP is solidified on Critosaurus. That's the top 6 teams right now.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think.
Everyone's solidified in the top 6, and I don't think any of them are.
I think
he'll be a sub for anyone who needs it.
Yeah.
I think that Wolfie is better than some of the. You also have to remember Wolfie plays a lot of jungle.
Yeah.
I think that Wolfie could be picked up by 5 a.m., but I wouldn't exactly bet on it. But
Over Rushed?
See, that's the thing. Like, Rushed and Wolfie are, I don't know.
It could be.
Wolfie, they're both.
I wonder if we'll
similar in skill level.
I wonder if
it's like, who is he significantly better than that he could replace?
Yeah.
Right,
I don't think there's anyone that he's significantly better than. And I think Critosaurus loves Fusion, regardless of whether Wolfie's skill is better or not. They like him individually as a player and as a person.
yeah.
They've worked with him forever, and they're all improving together. I don't think they're trying to replace anything right now.
I think there's more of a chance that we'll see him jump on a team, as people are talking about in chat, like with the wild card tournaments coming up and stuff like that.
Yeah, for wild card.
Like I think that's where we're going to see him come back in. Onto
Not for
a
the
team.
season though.
No. I think for wild card for sure. Like I think that's where we're going to see him kind of come back into it. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think Wolfie fancies himself as a jungler, and I think he's a better jungler than a solo, ever so slightly. I think 5 a.m. could be attractive. I think Wolfie could be attractive to 5 a.m. if they don't make it top 4, and I think Cognitive Red could start thinking about Wolfie as a solo laner.
Yeah.
Because Divios is young.
Divios has actually improved a lot.
I
harp on Divios. Oh, are you talking about for like
age?
I'm pretty sure that was already talked with about this.
Yeah, I assume it's all good, but
if that happens, kind of like a potential that the reason we talked about Worth Gaming not Coast Blue, maybe that's why Emma Lewichen's not playing with him.
Exactly.
It could be that thing in the future.
Exactly. So I play games with David Fry. I hang out with David Fry, and like that's when you're an owner. Sure, Divios' parents might say, sure, no doubt, he can go to Atlanta, but when there's a show match in China, or like next year's Worlds is in like Hamburg, Germany or something, are they going to be down with that? So there's a lot of contingencies you have to think of as an organization, and I think Wolfie could be really attractive in that sort of capacity.
I want to say something for that. They said DJ Pernicus isn't playing on 5 a.m. next week.
Yeah.
Wolfie wouldn't be a bag pickup for a sub for them.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of holes in these teams, and Wolfie plays a mean jungle.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Like, Wolfie replacing DJ Pernicus holistically, I think that's a kind of even swap.
Yeah, that's true.
I think DJ brings interesting shot calls, but has a negative that we all talked about earlier. And I think that Wolfie, Blame the Tank said it in chat, and that's what Wolfie always says. He's like, yo, I'm a great soldier. somebody tells me to do something and I'll do it, and I'm good at that. I'm not really good at telling people what to do.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Wolfie,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things like that I super respect about Wolfie. He's always like, yeah, if I tell people what to do, I just kind of get mad. I'd rather people just tell me what to do so I can just smash stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, it's great.
That's kind of funny. Let's go ahead and take 3 more questions, then we'll go ahead and round out the show. So why don't you guys grab a question here or there?
Good one.
Find a question that's kind of more attractive to you. Let's see.
Reels X is like an hour freaking delayed on the video. He actually just tweeted at me making
really?
fun of my impression of him. I'm pretty sure I made that an hour ago. So like, homie has the worst internet in the world.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's just constantly buffering.
He's like, guys, it took a while to buffer.
He's like, what?
Okay,
the bot is even out.
I have a good one.
Go for it.
What needs to change to allow early game team comps to, I think, prosper is what he was looking for, because the meta being choked with. I'm trying to reword this.
Yes, please do.
With the meta now being late game team comps, and
Okay.
team fight team comps. I don't think it will. I think the teams are too equally skilled at this point that I think everyone should be going for late game right now. It's just how it is.
The competition is so close together. I think I can agree with you. It comes down to that late game, team fights. So I can agree there. So much for that question. All right, let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Why so many about F. being sexy? I don't understand.
What can I say?
Delete, block.
I know.
Ignore.
Never.
What can I say?
Never submit again.
Here's another one. I
Okay.
guess I don't know if you're finding anything.
No, go for it. Please do.
Despite C9's current top seeding in Europe, do you think they are underperforming? It seems in many games they play that they seem to throw in the second and third games.
Good point. Good point. I mean, I think C9 definitely came into this season very, very strong alongside, TSM, and we saw them, back and forth for a few weeks at a time, and then kind of meh. Do you think it comes down to just the age of the team, the current players on that team, how long they've been playing together, that comes down to it with games 2 and 3, or what do you think it is about games 2 and 3 that seem to cause a problem for him? F. shook his head. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with.
I'm not talking physical age. I'm just talking about how long they've been playing together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's the same team plus a hunter, right? So I think that's all well.
Solo
and good.
laner as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
GQ.
NQ solo laners fit into the situation very easily. Solo laners in general are autonomous in the sense that you don't have to put them into a team and work with them like a jungler. Jungle mid bond is very important. Solo laners just kind of hang out until 20 minutes. That's what we like to make fun of them for. And then like they make important rotations before 20 minutes, and that's completely up to the solo laner. So I think squeezing NQ in there is easy. I honestly think that I don't know. They're slumping, and it's good that they're slumping now because they're guaranteed to go to the finals. Like,
I don't think they're slumping, because I know I call TSM out on slumping because they didn't make it to the finals for 4 weeks in a row.
TSM slumped.
Obviously, they're back.
They did, and
Very
they
strong.
came out of it just like everybody.
Cloud9 has been to the finals pretty much every weekend. I think TSM has
Past
3
2 weeks.
first-place wins, is why they
Past
have
2 weeks.
so many points.
Cloud9 has been underperforming.
Okay. Losing to SK and then losing today to Exposed.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're the best team in Europe. And
Cloud9?
I'll say they're underperforming.
You think Cloud9 is the best team in Europe?
Yes.
That's a
I
close
like it.
one. That's.
I don't agree, but I like it. I don't disagree.
I think Youngbay is the best hunter in Europe.
Okay.
I don't agree.
Not huge, not significant, not like worlds ahead of everyone, but
Right,
I think
right.
he's the best. I think NQ is not game hunter, but he's right behind him.
I think NQ
Sayo is the best
Hunter.
mid in Europe, on level with Captain Twig. I think Suntouch does what he needs to do. Sometimes gets caught out, but it's okay. And then I think
Suntouch won a game by getting caught out. I'm just putting it out there.
It's true.
You
It's true.
remember the Unmatched play? Like, I'm all alone, and then they got collapsed on, and then his team won. Like, that happens. So.
That's true. And then I think Half Devil is good, but still a question mark. I'm still a question mark about Half Devil. I like him though, but I think he's good enough that I think they're the best team in Europe. And I think they need a drive. I don't know what that drive is, but they need something to make them that consistently.
I'm not saying this is the case. I need to preface this by saying I'm not saying this is the case, but it's very possible to qualify and get complacent. I think that can happen to the best teams. And I'm not saying that this is what is happening with Cloud9, but it's very possible that you go in and, you know, you're like, hey guys, we're going to regionals. Ha ha ha. Let's have some fun. You know, it's very, 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 very possible.
Okay. I'll give that to you.
Okay.
I think that Cloud9 is underperforming a little bit for sure. But yeah, you know, I think that it's interesting.
Yeah.
Now this is a question that I you know, taking away from, we're moving away from the esports, just in general.
Sure, go for it.
Let's talk about Kronos.
All right.
He really needs some love. His skills minus his 2 are rather weak and hard to hit. I don't think that's a problem. His ult is useless in terms of hitting enemies. I don't think that's a problem.
Oh, it's not supposed to. Okay.
And equipping him is a mess because of lack of interesting items, and he plans for that. So I bring this up because Kronos is one of my favorite gods because he's one of the more interestingly designed gods.
Yeah.
The passive, how the Wheel of Time works with Accelerate is really cool, and at the core of it, he just has like a stun and a thing that you confirm with your stun. So I don't know. I think that he's obviously not good.
Yeah.
And how can we fix that, basically? You got any ideas?
Kronos, I feel like Kronos used to be banned out a lot, like a while back, just because people really didn't know what to do with him. So he was one of those guys that was kind of banned out, but. I don't know, Adonis. What were you thinking there? I knew you were going to comment on something.
I don't know. I think he's fine. I think you can have gods that are there just for picking sometimes. I don't know if you can hear that. Pecky's snoring really loudly.
I actually just heard that.
Really loudly. But I think I like gods like Kronos that aren't necessarily top pick, top ban, not even standard picks and bans.
Okay.
I mean, we're at 50. Obviously, the god pool is going to grow and grow and grow.
Yeah,
not everyone can always be picked. You need those gods that Game Hunter can pull out at the launch tournament and just decimate with because he knows it's a counter pick to chalk and solo lane.
Yeah.
You need those picks. I like him where he's at. I don't think we need to be looking at buffing gods, honestly.
Well, I think the big thing is, too, people have to remember, like, you're still going to see the same set of gods most likely being picked in the competitive scene over and over and over again, and then you have those other gods, like the filler gods for sure, where there's always a better option. That's how it's going to work. Like, you get up to 100 gods, not all 100 gods are going to be viable and perfect for a competitive scene. You know what I mean?
And I totally am down with that. I just have a really big beef with the fact that slow immunity makes you stun immune for Kronos. Can we fix that? Like,
I forgot about that.
Like, that's my beef. Because Kronos could be that Vulcan pick. Where, like, most people will be like, that's a stupid pick, you can pick better. But, like, Vulcan in the right hands can do really well. I love Vulcan. My Vulcan is ranked 9.
I hate you.
9? Wow, I'm impressed. He's like the next Thanatos for you, dude.
You know, I actually don't even have a legendary.
What?
I don't have a god over ranked 7.
Are you like Snoopy? Do you play all roles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I have a great question to end on. Why can Adonis not tie a tie correctly? Why not buy clip-ons?
I've been asking this.
From Hindu Man.
So I'm gonna answer this for Adonis. It's the camera angle.
It's the camera angle.
Adonis always blames it on the freaking camera
angle. By the way, that was asked by Hindu Man. He just wanted to point that out there. He wanted to know, why can't you just buy a clip-on, a bow tie clip-on?
I should just say I'm done. I'm rocking the Hindu bow tie.
That's right. That's awesome.
You're trying to say this past week looked good. Don't even.
No, it didn't.
I didn't look. It's alright.
It didn't look good.
Alright, cool. Well, I thought we'd end on that. Oh my god. That's your air conditioner. Alright, anyways. Your air conditioner is roaring right now. Roaring.
It's like 90 degrees.
I know, it just got really loud. It's alright. It's because of the way your mic adjusts. Anyways, that's probably gonna do it for tonight's show, guys. We're about 2 hours 40 minutes right now. And so that'll end today's show. If you guys want to check out the VOD, if you didn't get a chance to check out the whole thing, it will be on YouTube sometime tomorrow. YouTube.com/TheSmiteUpdate. as well as shout outs to everyone who gave us 5-star reviews on the iTunes store. We have a pretty decent crowd out there listening to the audio version. If I do not post up the VOD within like a day, I get people emailing me, when's the audio VOD going to be up? When's it going to be up? So shout outs to you guys. It's awesome that we have an audio audience that's so strong. Also shout outs to Hi-Rez Studios for allowing us to put this on their Twitch channel. And those of you guys that are catching it a little late, this show airs live every Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And Adonis, where can people check you out if they want to keep up to date with you?
Twitter.com/HiRezAdonis. Pretty much it right now. I don't really stream too much anymore.
Okay.
You can also find him at the local YMCA.
What?
You like to work out? You work out? What?
Do I work out?
Do you work out?
Yeah.
Is that why you can't tie a tie? You too
Oh my word. All right, F. Where can people check you out, man?
Word. You can find me if you like what I'm saying. You can find me on twitter.com/f.ny. And if you like what you're seeing, you can follow me on twitch.tv/fswag. I'm also here on Sundays. I'm on Tier Monster every morning, 7 to 10 a.m. And on Tuesdays, I'm on Smite Central doing Banzus with Kret. And on Wednesdays, I'm on Smite Central casting some 3v3. I'm going to toss some of that in the chat, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm all over everywhere. Follow me everywhere. Just don't follow me home.
Excellent. Sounds good. Guys, follow me at twitch.tv/OctanePro. SCII. Same thing with YouTube. Same thing with Twitter. Make sure you guys check out VODs from all previous 57 episodes of the Smite Update, going back to before it was actually an open beta. You can check it out once again at youtube.com/the-smite-update. Stay tuned. In a few minutes, I will be back with FG3000, and we'll be going ahead and accepting phone calls from you guys via raid call. So you guys can go ahead and call in, give your opinion, ask your questions on different things. It is called Smite Talk, and we'll see you guys in about 5 to 10 minutes. See you guys then. Take care, folks.